Chapter 32-32. After Jiyu Fei came out from the small world of the demon-destroying palace, he found that the outside world had changed greatly. Countless cultivators of the Black Demon Mountain had fallen. These cultivators seemed to have their essence, qi, and spirit devoured by something, and then died tragically. Corpses that looked like dried corpses lay quietly everywhere on the ground. Every corpse had a ferocious expression of extreme horror on their faces. This was too strange. There was no smell of blood, but a heart-palpitating aura of death shrouded the entire sky above the earth. Rumble, somewhere in the mountains, two incomparably powerful figures were fighting. When Jiyu Fei arrived nearby, the battle had already reached a white-hot stage. One of the skulls exuded a towering amount of devil qi, directly lunging towards the old ancestor of the Willow Devil clan. A powerful heaven-devouring might gushed out, and with just a single breath from the skull, the entire space in this area crumbled and crumbled, causing countless spatial fragments to fly towards the skull. What? The old ancestor of the Willow Demon clan turned pale with fright. He hurriedly urged the scarlet blood demon saber in his hand to hack at the skull. Swoosh! A shocking saber light instantly rushed out from the scarlet blood demon saber. In an instant, it soared tens of thousands of feet, splitting the layers of demonic qi, and fell towards the skull that was trying to devour it. However, a scene that shocked the old ancestor of the Willow Demon clan appeared. He saw the scarlet blood saber light chopping at the skull, and the incomparably bright and sharp saber light instantly collapsed. The old ancestor of the Willow Devil clan immediately retreated. But at this time, the skull had already swallowed him up, swallowing him along with his blade in one gulp. Roar! The old ancestor of the Willow Demon clan's extremely frightened voice came from the skull, but in the next moment, the old ancestor's voice completely disappeared. Me? Fighting with me? You're courting death. Mo Mingtian's voice resounded, and an extreme demonic power erupted from the skull, directly killing the old ancestor of the Willow Demon clan who had been swallowed by it. Then, the skull disappeared and turned into a beam of demonic light that rushed into Mo Mingtian's body. In the void, a crimson saber fell down and Mo Mingtian grabbed it. Quasi-sovereign magic tool? Mo Mingtian looked at the blood-colored demonic saber in his hand and sensed the powerful demonic aura coming from it. He couldn't help but be moved. Mo Mingtian wasn't the demon ancestor, he was just a great demon venerable. However, his cultivation had already reached one step into the demon ancestor realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to fight endlessly with the Willow Devil clan's ancestor and even kill him. At that moment, Mo Mingtian's expression suddenly changed and he turned around. When he saw Jiyu Fei, he was pleasantly surprised. His master had finally appeared. Master, Mo Mingtian was stunned for a moment, then he quickly rushed towards Jiyu Fei. When he arrived in front of Jiyu Fei and saw the three great experts standing behind Jiyu Fei, he couldn't help but be startled. He could sense an extremely dangerous aura emanating from these three statue-like fellows. These three guys were incredible. They were probably even more powerful than existences at the demon ancestor level. They were the most powerful existences below the extreme supreme realm. Master, this is, Mo Mingtian said with incomparable shock. He looked at the three statues behind Jiyu Fei. Could it be that these guys were experts of the Stone Demon clan? Were they subdued by his master? What happened outside? Where's the mysterious demon mountain lord? Jiyu Fei looked at Mo Mingtian and said expressionlessly. His top priority was to figure out what had happened. Who was it that had the guts to not cause trouble for them? They should be thanking the heavens, but they actually dared to provoke him. Master, we were scattered. It's too tragic. Countless creatures fell and blood flowed like a river. Countless cultivators of the mysterious demon mountain had their essence, qi, and spirit devoured and turned into dried corpses. Mo Mingtian couldn't help but shiver when he thought about what happened that day. If he hadn't escaped quickly, he would have most likely ended up like those dried corpses. His essence, qi, and spirit would have been devoured by that terrifying guy. Even his primordial spirit would have been devoured and he would have died. That was a peerless existence that could easily kill the demon ancestor. As soon as that guy appeared, countless rare existences were turned into dried corpses. After listening to Mo Mingtian's words, Ji Yufei and the others were extremely shocked. It turned out that the ancient city where the experts of the mysterious Demon Mountain were located was unexpectedly attacked by a mysterious expert. The mysterious expert directly attacked the ancient city. That guy, Luo Peng, was very unlucky. That day, he was in charge of guarding the ancient city, but he was directly killed by the mysterious expert near the city gate. Luo Peng was the first demon ancestor of the mysterious Demon Mountain to die. Seeing that the situation was not good, the phoenix which hid in the city lord's mansion. The lord of the mysterious Demon Mountain immediately attacked and fought with the mysterious expert. In the end, even an expert like him couldn't stop that guy and had to escape. Then, mysterious experts continuously jumped out without warning and directly attacked the ancient city. The mysterious Demon Mountain was caught unprepared. Almost 90% of the cultivators of the mysterious Demon Mountain were killed by these mysterious experts. Even the black-armored soldiers of the mysterious Demon Mountain were killed. Only the higher-ups of the mysterious Demon Mountain could escape. Even the Golden Goddess was injured and almost killed by those mysterious experts in the ancient city. It could be said that most of the cultivators of the mysterious Demon Mountain who came to the Central Territory were already finished. The reality was cruel. The world of cultivation was a world where the weak were prey to the strong. The attack of the mysterious experts was something that the lord of the mysterious Demon Mountain and the others did not expect. No one knew where these guys came from or who they were. Therefore, the lord of the mysterious Demon Mountain didn't even know who defeated him. Fortunately, the lord of the mysterious Demon Mountain and the others safely left, but demon ancestor Luo Peng died. However, the strength of the mysterious Demon Mountain was preserved. Preposterous! Ji Yufei roared. The force that he had painstakingly built up was almost destroyed. This made him mad. Master, I seriously suspect that those mysterious guys are from the Willow Demon Clan and the Stone Demon Clan. Mo Mingtian looked at Ji Yufei and said, I want evidence. Ji Yufei glanced at Mo Mingtian and said coldly, it should be known that the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan were primitive demons. There was no doubt that the primitive demons were powerful. Even he had to be careful when dealing with two primitive demons at the same time. Especially the Willow Demon Clan. They were known as a willow in the ancient demon sky. In the distant past, they were an invincible existence in the Chaos Demon realm. The inheritance left behind by such an existence was naturally incomparably powerful. No one knew what kind of trump card the Willow Demon Clan had. They only knew that the Willow Demon Clan could stand tall in the Chaos Demon realm for countless years without falling. Naturally, they did not rely on luck. Mo Mingtian was startled when he heard this. He really couldn't take out any evidence. Friend, those people probably don't know that we are back. Why don't we lure the snake out of its hole and then capture those guys? Won't we know who those people are then? Kang Qiu said to Ji Yufei. This is a good idea. Ji Yufei nodded and said. If they wanted to lure the snake out of its hole, they needed bait. At this time, his eyes fell on Mo Mingtian. I am willing to go through water and tread on fire for master. Mo Mingtian quickly said. Okay, let's not talk nonsense. Let's plan properly. I want to see who actually dares to have ideas about me. Ji Yufei said while clenching his teeth. No matter who it is, if they dare to provoke me, they will have to pay the price. I am not easy to provoke. Then, they left the mountain range and entered the depths of the mountain range. After nightfall, Ji Yufei and the others walked out from the depths of the mountain range and directly went in the direction of the ancient city. The ancient city should have been occupied by those people. Very quickly, they arrived at the mountain range near the ancient city. They saw that the ancient city was pitch black. There was actually no light at all. Ji Yufei and the others concealed their auras. No one knew of their existence. At this time, a figure appeared near the ancient city. Then, he carefully concealed his figure and stealthily moved towards the ancient city, gradually approaching the ancient city. However, just as the figure stealthily moved to the bottom of the city wall and was about to climb over the wall and enter the ancient city, A black figure silently appeared on the city wall and coldly looked at the figure below the city wall. Oh no! When the person saw the black figure on top of the city wall, he immediately turned around and fled. However, the black figure laughed and directly jumped down from the city wall like a big bat, fiercely pouncing towards the figure. The black figure's face was covered with a sinister black mask. He did not show his true appearance. The person who fled was Mo Mingtian. He was the bait to fish out the mysterious expert in the ancient city. However, he never thought that things would go so smoothly. Before he entered the ancient city, he was discovered by the mysterious expert in the ancient city. Mo Mingtian pretended to be very panicked and hurriedly rushed towards the valley where Ji Yufei and the others were hiding. He wanted to lure the mysterious expert into the valley. Ji Yufei and the others were lying in ambush in the valley. As long as the mysterious expert rushed into the valley, he absolutely would not have a chance to come out. Mo Mingtian, do you think you can escape? A gloomy voice came from behind Mo Mingtian. This caused Mo Mingtian's heart to tremble. This guy actually knows me. Who are these people? Who are you? Why are you making things difficult for me? Mo Mingtian said as he fled. His speed was not slow. With one step, the mountain under his feet seemed to shrink. This was the shrinking earth divine ability. Since the mysterious expert knew Mo Mingtian and dared to chase him alone, he naturally had the confidence to kill Mo Mingtian. That was why he dared to do this. Me. Wait until I twist off your head, then I'll tell you who I am. The mysterious expert sneered. Chapter 32-33. The moon was dark and the wind was strong, luring the snake out of its hole. Ji Yufei's plan was very successful. Mo Mingtian did it effortlessly. He lured out a mysterious expert from that ancient city. Mo Mingtian naturally turned around and fled. He directly fled into a valley formation. That mysterious expert disappeared into the valley as soon as he saw Mo Mingtian. Even he couldn't sense Mo Mingtian's aura anymore. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air. Haha, seeing this, the mysterious expert laughed out loud. A small demonic formation. He naturally didn't put it in his eyes. The power of the formation set up by Mo Mingtian couldn't hurt him at all. The power of Mo Mingtian's formation couldn't harm him at all. He laughed heartily and strode into the valley. The moment the mysterious expert walked into the valley, he sensed more than one powerful aura that made his heart palpitate. He sensed more than one expert's aura that was so powerful that it made his heart palpitate. He immediately turned around and fled. At this moment, the path behind him had disappeared. It was shrouded by a cloud of white fog. Oh no! The mysterious expert knew that he had been tricked at this moment. He directly slapped forward with his palm. A powerful force rushed out from his palm. He wanted to disperse the fog in front of him. Boom! A muffled sound. It was as if the mysterious expert's palm had struck a transparent wall. He was actually rebounded. His right hand was numb from the shock. What? The mysterious expert's shock was no small matter. He knew. He was in danger. The formation set up by the opponent was actually so powerful. Its power was unfathomable. Could it be? He suddenly thought of a possibility. His whole body instantly broke out in a cold sweat. Ha! Just when the mysterious expert was inexplicably shocked, Mo Mingtian's loud laughter came from the valley. That was a carefree laughter. Mo Mingtian, you're despicable. The mysterious expert stared at the depths of the valley and roared. Ha! What a joke. That day when you ambushed us. I don't see you calling me despicable. Mo Mingtian said with a laugh. The mysterious expert nodded. He could not help but be taken aback. For a moment, he did not know what to say. All right. What was there to say to these ants? We don't have time to waste on this guy. Another voice came from the depths of the valley. Damn it. When the mysterious expert heard this, he was both shocked and furious. He attacked with all his might. They continued to bombard the path they came from. The vast white mist was tumbling. It just couldn't be dispelled. At this moment, a beam of purple divine light flashed across the void. In an instant, It rushed into the mysterious expert's head. The mysterious expert shuddered. Demonic blood seeped out from the space between his eyebrows. Then it flowed down. He seemed incomparably savage and bloodthirsty. However, his gaze became sluggish. Ji Fei made a move. He directly used one of the 9 secrets of the immortal Tao, the divine plunder secret art. In an instant, he had this fellow under control. He directly read the memory of this fellow's primordial spirit. However, it was out of Ji Fei's expectations. This fellow's mind was actually under a restrictive spell. If he forcefully broke through the restrictive spell, then this fellow's body and soul would be destroyed. Chimph Ji Fei sneered. This kind of restrictive spell was not difficult for him. He directly used the Wu secret word. The power of the Wu secret word exploded. It directly broke the restrictive spell in the mysterious expert's mind. In the next moment, countless information burst out like a mountain torrent. It crazily surged into his senses. Alien race. Ji Fei said in extreme shock. There were incomparably powerful races in the alien world. Wasn't that a legend? How could it really appear in the present world? What? The mysterious expert is not from the Stone Demon clan or the Willow Demon clan. Mo Mingtian said in shock. Since it was an expert from the alien world, then it was not an existence born in the Chaos Demon realm. Above the Chaos Demon realm, there was also a world that truly belonged to the strong. That was the alien world. The alien races were extremely powerful. Every time such a creature appeared, it would definitely cause a huge wave. It would also cause unrest in the entire Chaos Demon realm. I didn't expect it to be those guys, Kang Q suddenly sighed and said. He had once experienced the darkest and most turbulent era in the Chaos Demon realm. He had also fought with these so-called experts from the alien world. But now, he was no longer an invincible expert high up in the sky. And the other party might still be an extreme Dao sovereign. There are still 2 such guys in the city. Go and kill them for me. Ji Fei ordered the 3 stone demon emperors behind him. Yes, Master. The Chaos Demon Ape and the others quickly accepted the order. Then, it shot up into the sky. It rushed out of the smoky valley. Instantly, it disappeared into the night sky. And at this moment, Ji Fei retracted the power of the God-snatching secret technique. Then, he pointed with a finger. A beam of chaotic divine light instantly pierced the space between the eyebrows of this mysterious expert. In the next moment, the mysterious expert didn't even have the time to scream in pain. His whole body suddenly exploded. He turned into a cloud of blood mist. Even his primordial spirit dissipated in the void. His body and soul were destroyed. At this moment, under the moonlight, the ancient city was extremely quiet. Soon, 3 extremely powerful figures descended from the sky. He directly pounced into this once incomparably prosperous ancient city. They disappeared inside. In the next moment, a powerful energy wave erupted from the ancient city. A terrifying aura spread from the ancient city. There were extremely powerful existences fighting. Boom! In the ancient city, a pavilion suddenly exploded. 2 figures rushed out of the shattered pavilion. One figure was covered in a vast demonic aura. But he had a stone-like demonic body. As for the other figure, the energy fluctuations that erupted from it were extremely powerful. But it was not the power of the demonic path. This person was also wearing a blackwood mask. The 2 experts fought endlessly. Everywhere they passed by, the void collapsed. Houses kept collapsing. The ancient city was filled with dust. It was a mess. The power of the mysterious expert. It was beyond the estimation of the Stone Demon Emperor. The Stone Demon Emperor that was fighting with the mysterious expert was a huge spider. It was a great yin demon spider. It was extremely powerful. Its 8 sharp claws were like 8 demonic spears. It kept stabbing towards the Stone Demon Emperor. It was extremely fast. Clang! The mysterious expert's hands danced. It kept colliding with the demonic spears. It actually blocked the attack of the great yin demon spider. At this moment, in another direction, a dragon-head devil and another mysterious powerhouse were engaged in a great battle. When the two experts were fighting, the vast and mighty remnant power caused the entire world to tremble. The Chaos Demon Ape did not make a move. He just stood on a nearby pavilion and watched the battle. It seemed like he had no intention of making a move. Damn thing. Die. Chapter 32-34. Under the moonlit night. Powerful energy waves erupted from the ancient city. The powerful aura was like a stormy sea. It went out of the ancient city. The powerful energy shook the void. The entire ancient city was shaking. This was not an empty city, because corpses could be seen everywhere in the city. There were even mountains of corpses in some places. Countless corpses were piled up. These were the cultivators of Mystic Demon Mountain who were massacred by those mysterious extraterrestrial experts. The entire ancient city was filled with a terrifying corpse aura. However, strangely, in the ancient city that had become a dead city, there was no smell of rotten flesh. At this moment, Jiu Fei and the others came to the sky outside the ancient city. They were watching the battle in the ancient city. Behind him stood Kang Qiu and the Demon Rock Lady, and Mo Mingtian. The ones who attacked were the 3 stone demon emperors that Jiu Fei had subdued. Among the 3 stone demon emperors, the Divine Yin Demon Spider and the Dragon Head Demon were fighting with a mysterious expert wearing a black mask. What's going on? What are these extraterrestrial beings trying to do? Jiu Fei was very surprised. After those mysterious experts took down the ancient city, they only left 3 experts to guard the city. They didn't even get rid of the corpses in the ancient city. It seemed that these mysterious experts did not intend to occupy the ancient city. Boom. At this moment, in the ancient city, a powerful figure was moving quickly. Houses were being destroyed one after another. A demon spider was chasing after a mysterious expert wearing a ferocious blackwood mask. Swoosh. The demon spider, which was as big as a small mountain, spat out a pitch-black spider silk that pierced towards the mysterious expert. However, the mysterious expert did not panic. He pulled with his right hand. A fireball immediately appeared in his hand. Then it directly smashed towards the demon spider. A blazing aura erupted from the fireball. Everywhere it passed, the void was silently destroyed by the burning flame of chaos. When Jiu Fei saw the mysterious expert shoot out such a fireball, he was shocked. He could not help but be moved. Because it was actually a flame of chaos. The flame of primal chaos was not something that ordinary divine flames could compare to. Primal chaos flame. It could burn everything in the world. Everything shrouded in this divine fire was burned into nothingness. Even the ashes of the tribulation could not be preserved. The moment the flame of primal chaos came into contact with the spider silk, the flame of primal chaos suddenly exploded. The black spider silk was instantly burned into nothingness. The great Yin demon spider saw it. He hurriedly soared into the sky. The flame of primal chaos directly rushed towards the bottom of the demon spider. However, the next moment, the flame of primal chaos actually made a boom sound. It exploded. The flame of primordial chaos swept out in an instant. This caused the great Yin demon spider to be shocked. The great Yin demon spider was not to be trifled with. A mass of black mist rushed out from its body. It collided with the flame of primal chaos. That was too angry. Extreme yin and extreme cold. As soon as the Tai Chi and the flame of chaos came into contact, the Tai Chi was quickly dissipating. However, the flame of primordial chaos was also under the impact of the Tai Chi. It was constantly extinguishing. The Tai Chi blocked the flame of chaos. What? Seeing this, the mysterious expert nodded. He was taken aback. The opponent could even block the flame of chaos that he had painstakingly refined. How could he fight against this? Shua. The mysterious expert turned around and fled. A beam of flame of primal chaos shot up into the sky. He rushed out of the ancient city. At this moment, the Chaos Demon Ape, who was ready to attack, made its move. He pushed with his legs. Boom. There was a loud sound. The pavilion under his feet immediately exploded. At the same time, he turned into a beam of primal chaos light. He instantly caught up to the mysterious expert. Rumble, the chaos demon ape stretched out its arm. A huge furry hand immediately appeared in the void. It directly grabbed towards the mysterious expert. This giant hand instantly enveloped the entire void of heaven and earth. It also covered the mysterious expert's flame of primal chaos under the huge hand. There was no suspense. The mysterious expert who knew how to play with fire was directly slapped down from the sky by the chaos demon ape. Boom! There was a loud sound. He directly fell on the ground outside the ancient city. This mysterious expert directly smashed a huge pit in the ground. Dust rose high into the sky. Shua! The chaos demon ape took a step forward. In an instant, it arrived above the huge pit. Then, it reached out and grabbed. The mysterious expert was directly caught by him. Roar! The mysterious expert kept roaring and struggling. But no matter how hard he struggled, it was useless. It was difficult to break free from the grasp of the chaos demon ape's powerful hand. Boom! The next moment, a ball of flame of primal chaos exploded from the mysterious expert's body. It burned the void to the point of annihilation. However, the chaos demon ape's palm was surrounded by primal chaos chi. The flame of primal chaos from the mysterious expert's body could not even burn a hair of the chaos demon ape. The primal chaos chi from the chaos demon ape's hand blocked the flame of primal chaos. Just as the chaos demon ape captured the mysterious expert. The other battle in the ancient city had also come to an end. The dragon head demon was extremely powerful. It actually defeated the mysterious expert who was fighting against it. This mysterious expert cultivated the power of primal chaos gold. His body was invulnerable. But the dragon head demon smashed this guy who cultivated the primal chaos gold into pieces. However, this level of attack, it was impossible to kill this primal chaos gold beast. The primal chaos gold beast that was smashed into pieces actually fused back together in an instant. It reformed the primal chaos gold body. This was a guy with a human body and a beast head. No one had seen this beast head before. It was extremely ferocious. It had sharp teeth. If it was bitten by this primal chaos gold beast, even the dragon head demon would lose a piece of flesh. The dragon head demon directly wrapped around the body of this primal chaos gold beast. It tightly wrapped around the primal chaos gold beast. No matter how the primal chaos gold beast struggled, it could not break free. One had to know. The dragon head demon had the power of extreme Tao. It was entangled by the dragon head demon. That was no small matter. The power of the primal chaos gold beast was vast and mighty. There was a sonorous sound coming from the body of the primal chaos gold beast. The scales on its body were shaking. A peerless sword light rushed out. The sword light slashed the body of the dragon head demon. There was a sonorous sound. This kind of powerful sword light could tear the world apart. It could cut the peerless divine iron. But it could not leave a mark on the body of the dragon head demon. This primal chaos gold beast was also captured. These two guys are not weak. When Jiu Fei saw this scene, he could not help but be shocked. These living beings in the primal chaos alien realm were actually so powerful. It was really beyond his expectations. He had searched the memory of the primordial spirit of the mysterious living being. He knew the origin of these mysterious living beings. These mysterious living beings actually came from the depths of the primal chaos. Chapter 32-35. The creatures from the chaotic alien realm slaughtered most of the cultivators in Black Demon Mountain and scared away their leader. Even the revered demon Lord Luo Peng died in the battle. The 100,000 demon soldiers of Black Demon Mountain were not spared either. Their essence, chi, and spirit were devoured by a terrifying creature from the chaotic alien realm, turning them into dried corpses. Jiu Fei was furious when he saw the tragic scene in the ancient city. He could not wait to kill his way into the chaotic alien realm and kill all of them. As the saying goes, if others don't offend me, I won't offend them. Ji Fei wasn't a bloodthirsty person, but this time, these beings living in the depths of the primal chaos had gone too far. At this moment, the Chaos Demon Ape and the Dragon-Head Devil captured the two creatures from the chaotic alien realm. These chaotic creatures were waiting for a hare, but unfortunately, what they waited for wasn't a hare. Therefore, they were met with a tragedy. Without hesitation, Ji Fei performed the spirit-seizing secret technique to forcibly read the primordial spirit's memory of the creature that the Chaos Demon Ape had captured. However, as soon as Ji Fei's divine sense entered the creature's sea of consciousness, the creature's sea of consciousness exploded with a loud bang. As a result, the chaotic creature's head turned into a bloody mist. Even the strand of divine sense that Ji Fei released was greatly impacted. This is outrageous. Ji Fei was both shocked and furious. It seemed that someone had placed a restrictive technique in the creature's sea of consciousness. Otherwise, this would not have happened. It seemed that there were some secrets in the creature's primordial spirit's memory that could not be explored by others. No one would be stupid enough to place a restrictive technique in their own sea of consciousness. Hence, it must have been done by someone else, and that person was definitely a supreme expert. At this moment, the chaotic creature captured by the Dragon-Head Demon was shocked to see the tragic death of his companion. He didn't want to die here like this. When Ji Fei's gaze landed on him, the Chaos Gold Beast couldn't help but shiver. Ji Fei did not hesitate. He directly released his divine sense to invade the creature's mind. Don't. The chaotic creature was scared out of his wits, but he was powerless to resist. He could only watch helplessly as the divine sense invaded his sea of consciousness. Bang! The head of the chaotic creature also exploded. Countless fragments shot out in all directions. Those were chaotic pure gold, a kind of supreme divine item that was born in the chaos. As long as a small piece of chaotic refined gold was added during the refining process, the grade of the refined spiritual weapon would definitely increase significantly. Ji Fei naturally wouldn't let it go to waste. He extended his hand and directly absorbed the countless pieces of chaotic pure gold into his hand. This was good stuff. Thus, the three living beings from the chaotic world had perished. However, just as Ji Fei was killing the first foreign being from the primal chaos, far away in the depths of the primal chaos, there was a piece of primal chaos land floating and sinking. This chaotic land was bigger than any other great world. It was shrouded by endless chaotic aura. On this chaotic land, there were powerful chaotic races. They were creatures that lived in the primal chaos and were much more powerful than ordinary creatures. Roar! At this moment, a terrifying roar was heard from the depths of the silent chaotic land. The terrifying sound wave spread out, causing countless living beings from the chaotic world to keep quiet out of fear. Go gather those guys that were scattered. In the Chaos Fiend realm, outside an ancient city in the territory of the god-destroying demon palace in the central region, Ji Fei ordered Mo Mingtian. Yes, master. Mo Mingtian accepted the order and left. Thereafter, Ji Fei ordered the Chaos Demon Ape and the other two stone statue demon emperors to clean up the corpses in the ancient city. Soon, the corpses in the ancient city were cleaned up. The entire ancient city became empty immediately. There wasn't a single person in it. Those guys should know that their people are dead. I reckon other living beings from the chaotic world will arrive soon. Kang Q said. He couldn't understand why Ji Fei wanted to clean up the ancient city. Could it be that he wanted to stay in the ancient city? Temph, I'm going to wait here for them to take the bait. Ji Fei gritted his teeth and said. He wanted to find out why those creatures from the chaotic alien realms were attacking the cultivators of the Black Demon Mountain. It should be known that these creatures were generally very low-key and would not do anything out of line. This time, those guys were really abnormal. Of course, Ji Fei wasn't afraid even if he were to face the experts from the chaotic world. Since those living beings from the chaotic world dared to attack him, they should have expected the consequences. This, Kang Q and the demonic rock lady were extremely shocked when they heard Ji Fei's words. Is Ji Fei really going to start a war with those living beings from the chaotic world? In the eyes of Kang Q and the demonic rock lady, Ji Fei might not be able to defeat those living beings from the chaotic world. They were once extreme Tao Supremes and knew how terrifying the living beings from the chaotic world were. Back then, the living beings from the chaotic world were involved in the great turmoil that swept across the world. Jiyu Fei didn't pay any more attention to Kang Qiu and the demonic rock lady. Instead, he walked into the ancient city. At this time, the ancient city was deserted and in a mess. Even the city lord's mansion was half destroyed. Jiyu Fei didn't have to wait too long. An hour after they entered the ancient city, Mo Mingtian returned with a lot of people. "Greetings, Master." Those people hurriedly saluted when they saw Jiyu Fei. Among these people, there were many familiar faces. The phoenix which was among them, and the demonic rock emperor was also among them. However, there was no sign of the master of the Black Demon Mountain, the Golden Goddess, or the other two members of the Golden Race. Jiyu Fei just nodded and walked into a well-preserved hotel on the side of the street. Of course, there was no one in the hotel. After Jiyu Fei entered the hotel, he sat in a private room facing the street. Mo Mingtian led a group of cultivators from the Black Demon Mountain to spread out and search for the survivors of the Black Demon Mountain. They still didn't have any news of the master of the Black Demon Mountain. At this time, in a valley thousands of miles away from the ancient city, more than a dozen mysterious people wearing black masks were standing. Without any suspense, these guys directly rushed into the sky and pounced in the direction of the ancient city. Their powerful aura spread out and even the void was shaking. At this time, Jiyu Fei, who was in the ancient city, sensed the aura of these mysterious experts. He smiled. "These guys are simply courting death. You guys go and get rid of those people." Jiyu Fei ordered the Chaos Devil Ape and the others. His tone became extremely cold and revealed a heart-palpitating murderous aura. "Yes, Master." Chapter 32-36. The mysterious experts from the foreign realms were finally moved. They were fearless and were all warlike races. Back in the chaotic continent, they were already aggressive and had rich battle experiences. These foreign beings were actually extremely arrogant. They saw the chaotic continent as the ancestral land of the 3 worlds and 6 paths, the birthplace of life. These chaotic creatures that came from the ancestral land were all extremely powerful. But now, 3 of them were killed. How could this be? A total of 13 chaotic creatures wearing hideous black masks pounced towards the ancient city. However, they were intercepted halfway. The 3 demonic stone statues were like 3 supreme demon lords that came from the demonic domain. They intercepted the 13 experts from the foreign realms and a pitch-black demonic aura shrouded the entire void. The 13 chaotic creatures had no choice but to stop as the energy waves that erupted from the 3 demonic experts were simply too powerful. No wonder Jin Lang and Huazhan were killed. So it was these 3 fellas who killed them. The leader of the 13 chaotic creatures stared at the Chaos Demonic Ape and the other 2 powerhouses and said coldly. Only the chaotic creatures behind him could understand what he was saying. However, this didn't mean that it was difficult for the leader to communicate with the Chaos Demon Ape and the other 2 experts. Communication above the level of spiritual will did not discriminate between races. The demonic aura that was released from the Chaos Demon Ape and the other 2 experts made the 13 chaotic creatures shudder. Experts of this level were definitely the most powerful existences in this world. Even though the chaotic creatures were arrogant, they knew that these 3 fellas were hard to deal with. "It's you guys who made my master unhappy," the Chaos Demon Ape said coldly. A wave of spiritual will spread from his body and his voice rang in the hearts of the 13 chaotic creatures. "Ch, lowly creatures. How dare you speak to us noble beings in such a tone?" The leader of the chaotic creatures stared at the Chaos Demon Ape and said coldly. "What?" The Chaos Demon Ape was enraged when he heard the words of the other party. How dare this fella treat him as a lowly creature? How despicable. I don't see how noble you are. The Chaos Demon Ape said in disdain. Damn it, you deserve to die. The leader of the chaotic creatures was enraged. He raised his hand and the 12 chaotic creatures behind him dispersed. Each of them exuded an extremely powerful aura. These living beings grew up in the chaos, so their control over the chaos chi could be said to have reached the point of perfection. They had also cultivated all sorts of extremely powerful abilities. Ha ha, then come and kill me. The Chaos Devil Ape mocked. These fellows really thought too highly of themselves. They even thought of themselves as creatures that were a level higher than others. Who's going to kill this guy? The leader of the chaotic creatures said coldly. Two blood-red eyes shot out from behind the black wooden mask and stared at the Chaos Demon Ape. Me. As soon as the Chaos creature's voice faded, a tall, burly Chaos creature walked out from behind the leader. Kunlong, very good. We will let these lowly creatures know the consequences of offending us. The leader of the chaotic creatures said coldly. Yes, Boss Kuan Yuan. The tall man named Kunlong nodded and took a step forward, instantly disappearing into the void. At this moment, the Chaos Demon Ape threw a punch forward. Boom! The two fists collided. Rumble, powerful energy fluctuations spread out, causing the entire void to tremble. Pitch-black spatial cracks appeared in the void, as if pitch-black lightning was wreaking havoc. At this moment, Kuan Long's figure appeared in the void. A powerful and violent power erupted from his body. Streams of chaotic energy that resembled the ancestral dragon circled around his body. However, Kuan Long's powerful fist was blocked by the Chaos Demonic Ape. The Chaos Demonic Ape's stone-like arm was also incredibly powerful. What? All the chaotic creatures were shocked to see this. This stone-like guy actually blocked Kunlong's attack. How was that possible? One should know that Kunlong was the strongest existence among them apart from Kuan Yuan. Roar! The Chaos Demon Ape roared at the sky and punched out with his right fist. Boom! The chaos creature, Kuan Long, was sent flying away. Not bad. At this moment, Ji Fei, who was watching this scene from afar, couldn't help but nod. The Chaos Demon Ape's combat strength was unquestionable. He could even fight against the experts of the chaotic creatures. Ji Fei, Kang Qiu, and the others were watching the battle. At this moment, Mo Mingtian was gathering the scattered disciples of Black Demon Mountain. He released the news that Ji Fei had returned. The cultivators who received the news quickly gathered. The cultivators of Black Demon Mountain knew that as long as Ji Fei returned, the chaotic creatures would be in trouble. Although the chaotic creatures were incomparably strong, they weren't invincible. There must be a reason for them to attack Black Demon Mountain. Otherwise, those guys wouldn't have come to provoke Ji Fei. The primitive demons were absolutely clear about the consequences of provoking Ji Fei. The god-exterminating demon palace had already been destroyed. That was one of the primitive demons. Even the Willow Demon Clan and the Stone Demon Clan didn't dare to provoke Ji Fei. However, the chaotic creatures were fearless. It seemed that there was nothing in this world that they didn't dare to do. Their origins were mysterious, but once they appeared, something earth-shattering would definitely happen. Sure enough, as soon as these chaotic creatures appeared, they almost wiped out all the experts of Black Demon Mountain. Countless disciples of Black Demon Mountain died in their hands. Rumble, at this moment, the Chaos Demon Ape and Kunlong started fighting. The two experts' combat strength was incomparably strong. They were as terrifying as two destructive gods of war. Boom! The Chaos Demon Ape blasted out a punch. The entire void immediately undulated like water ripples. A terrifying destructive power obliterated forward. The Kunlong, the chaotic creature, was not to be trifled with. Chaotic light burst out from all over his body. He forcefully broke through the rippling void and attacked the Chaos Demon Ape. With another loud bang, the two experts once again clashed head-on. Extremely terrifying power fluctuations erupted in an instant, and the entire void of the world suddenly collapsed. This kind of power was so strong that it directly annihilated the void. The two chaotic forces collided. Both were extremely powerful. Neither could suppress the other. This scene made everyone who saw it inexplicably shocked. The Chaos Demon Ape possessed the extreme force, but so did the Kunlong. When the extreme force spread out, it could destroy everything. At this moment, the group of chaotic creatures, the Divine Yin Demon Spider, and the Dragon-Head Demon retreated far away. One should know that if they were affected, it wouldn't be fun. The two figures quickly separated, and cracks appeared in the void due to the pressure of the two figures. How can a low-level creature be so powerful? The group of chaotic creatures was extremely shocked. One should know that they were the highest-level creatures from the Chaos ancestral land. These low-level creatures couldn't be compared to them. Low-level creatures. The chaotic creatures were whispering, but Jiu Fei could hear them clearly. He had read the primordial spirit of a chaotic creature before. Naturally, he knew a lot of things. These chaotic creatures regarded all creatures that were not born in the Chaos ancestral land as low-level creatures. I am a low-level creature. Haha. Ridiculous. The Chaos demon ape roared and kept attacking. The extreme force was released. It was so terrifying that it startled countless creatures in the surrounding area. They're fighting again. Someone was extremely shocked. Didn't the cultivators of the mystical demon mountain all die? But there were experts fighting around the ancient city of the mystical demon mountain from time to time. This time, the area where the ancient city of the mystical demon mountain was located was even more powerful and terrifying. The extreme force was vast and mighty. Kuan Long's combat strength was so strong that even the Chaos demon ape was shocked. This kind of combat strength was absolutely invincible in the Chaos realm. But unfortunately, this guy met Kuan Long. A low-level creature will always be a low-level creature. You're just like an ant. Kuan Long said coldly. HMPH. Let this low-level creature send you on your way. The Chaos demon ape sneered. An even more powerful wave of energy rippled out from his body. The space around him trembled. It was as if this part of the world could not contain his powerful body. Bang! Kuan Long was sent flying by the Chaos demon ape's punch. What? How is this possible? The group of chaotic creatures was stunned. Even Kuan Long wasn't a match for this guy. Kuan Long was recognized as a rising star in the Chaos ancestral land. He had cultivated for tens of thousands of years and was only half a step away from becoming a supreme expert. Chaotic creatures usually cultivated for a long time. Tens of thousands of years was just a short period of time for Kuan Long. Some chaotic creatures could cultivate for hundreds of thousands of years or even millions of years. Haha. You call us low-level creatures. I think you're the ants. The Chaos demon ape laughed and attacked Kuan Long. The extreme force exploded from his body. Demonic light flowed on his stone-like body as if it had turned into immortal demonic iron. Kuan Long was sent flying again. Cracks began to appear on his powerful demonic body, as if it was about to shatter. Chapter 32-37. The chaotic creatures that came from the ancestral land of chaos thought highly of themselves and regarded themselves as the highest beings in the 3 realms and 6 paths. In fact, there was a reason why they were so conceited. The ancestral land of chaos was regarded as the source of life by the chaotic creatures. It was the birthplace of all beings in the 3 realms and 6 paths. However, no one could tell if that was the case because there was very little information about the source of life since ancient times. It was as if someone had purposely blocked all information about the source of life. However, no matter how secretive it was, there would still be some news about it. Of course, these were the great secrets of the world. Perhaps only the most powerful beings were qualified to know about it. The super forces of the chaotic realm were shocked that the chaotic creatures suddenly intervened in the chaos realm. Even the primitive demons were nervous and vigilant. The primitive demons had been passed down for countless years and were the inheritances of the extreme demon ancestor. They more or less knew about the chaotic creatures, but most of them did not know about the existence of the chaotic creatures. At this moment, the high and mighty beings were being slapped in the face by the chaos demon ape. The strongest among them, Kuan Long, was sent flying by the Chaos demon ape. Haha, aren't you a noble being? Why can't you take a beating? The Chaos demon ape laughed and continued to attack. Powerful energy erupted from his fists. Every time he punched, the void in front of his fists would explode. The power of the extreme path erupted from the Chaos demon ape's fists. It was terrifying to the extreme. Pitch-black cracks the size of mountains appeared in the void. It was as if the entire sky was about to collapse from his fists. Kuan Long attacked with all his might, but he was still sent flying. Although he had an extremely powerful physique and extreme path power, he was still no match for the Chaos Demon Ape. However, compared to the Chaos Demon Ape, Kuan Long was really no match for him. Bam! The Chaos Demon Ape punched Kuan Long's face. "Who told you to look down on us?" The Chaos Demon Ape roared and punched Kuan Long's nose again. The crisp sound of bones breaking was heard. Kuan Long's ferocious black mask was instantly shattered into pieces. The pieces even pierced into his face. Chaos blood seeped out continuously. What a stubborn wretch. After the Chaos Demon Ape sent the Kuan Dragon flying with a punch, it swung its right arm and bared its teeth. Damned lowly creature. The group of chaotic creatures couldn't help but be shocked and angered by this scene. However, they had to admit that this creature that rose from the Chaos Realm was unbelievably powerful. Perhaps only the supreme experts of the primal Chaos ancestral land could deal with this fellow. Of course, perhaps Kuan Yuan, who was even more powerful than Kuan Long, could also deal with this fellow. In the Chaos Demon Realm, those that stood at the top were the Chaos living beings. The Chaos Demon Realm was the insect race's territory in the Chaos ancestral land. Normally, the insect race wouldn't interfere in the battles between the cultivation forces in the Chaos Demon Realm. They would only look down at these ant-like existences from high above, as if they were the supreme rulers of this world. Even during the darkest times of the ancient times, when the Chaos Demon Realm and the Ancestral God Realm fought fiercely against each other, the insect race didn't intervene. However, there seemed to be chaotic creatures behind the Great War in the ancient times. Kill. Kuan Long's face was filled with chaos blood. He was on the brink of insanity. He surged the chaos force in his body and attacked the Chaos Demon Ape. Rays of chaos light shot out from his body and pierced through the Chaos Demon Ape. Among the rays of chaos light, there were bone spears, and on each bone spear, there were countless Tao patterns surging and interweaving. Ha ha! The Chaos Demon Ape roared with laughter as he charged forward. The bone spears pierced the Chaos Demon Ape's stone-like body, producing clanging sounds as they were actually repelled. How is this possible? Kuan Long was shocked. This time, he couldn't help but be shocked. He had already used his strongest attack, but he still couldn't hurt the Chaos Demon Ape. Chaos living beings, they seemed to be quite capable. Far in the sky, Ji Yufei and the others were shocked to see this scene. One should know that the Chaos Demon Ape's strength was not to be underestimated. Even someone like Kang Q wouldn't be able to take down the Chaos Demon Ape in a short period of time. These guys are more than capable. Kang Q looked at the group of chaos living beings with a complicated expression. He was once a supreme god ancestor, so he was naturally qualified to know some secrets of heaven and earth. What do you mean? Ji Yufei said. At this moment, the Chaos Demon Ape sent the Kuan Dragon flying once again. This time, half of the Kuan Dragon's body was shattered. The Kuan Dragon was sent flying thousands of miles away as he screamed miserably. He smashed into a huge mountain, causing dust and rubble to shoot up into the sky. These guys might be the masterminds back then. Kang Q gritted his teeth and said. Back then, he was trapped in the mountain river diagram for countless years, and it was probably because of these guys. How could he not hate them? Back then, the war between the Chaos Demon Realm and the Ancestral God Realm happened suddenly. What? Ji Yufei couldn't help being startled. These fellows actually had such ability. But they couldn't even beat the Chaos Devil Ape. These are just small fries. Kang Q said with a solemn expression. Small fries. Ji Yufei was a little moved when he heard Kang Q's words. One should know that if Kang Q's words were true, then the consequences would be very serious. However, Ji Yufei was not afraid. No matter who he was, he could not be stronger than a supreme god. However, Ji Yufei still felt a little uneasy in the depths of his heart, since there might be a higher realm above the extreme grade. Naturally, this was only his guess, since no one knew if there were existences stronger than the extreme grade sovereign realm in this world. These guys are very mysterious, no one knows where they came from. Kang Q continued. You don't know either. Ji Yufei looked at Kang Q and said. Do I look like I know? Kang Q said helplessly. Although he was once a supreme god ancestor, there were some things that even he did not know. Yes. Ji Fei said without thinking. Kang Q was speechless. At this moment, the other chaotic creatures made their moves. They would not let Kuan Long be killed by the Chaos Demon Ape. Kuan Long had great potential and he had the chance to become a supreme expert. If Kuan Long was killed just like that, it would be a great loss for the insect race. Lowly life form, die. Two chaotic creatures rushed forward. One of them stretched out his hand and dazzling chaotic light shone from his fingers. They were like 5 chaotic divine swords that pierced towards the Chaos Demon Ape. The Chaos Demon Ape's physique was so strong that it was unimaginable. Both of its fists danced in the air as it shattered the Chaos Sword light. The other chaotic creature spat out a Chaos Divine Spear. Like a bolt of lightning, the Chaos Divine Spear pierced through the Chaos Demon Ape's glabella. The Chaos Demon Ape waved his fist and punched the Chaos Divine Spear. An extremely strong force burst out and blocked the Chaos Divine Spear. Buzz. The Chaos Divine Spear vibrated and let out a slight buzzing sound. It could not pierce through the Chaos Demon Ape's fist. Roar. The Chaos Demon Ape roared and punched with his right fist. An even stronger force burst out from his fist and the Chaos Divine Spear was repelled. Haha, a bunch of trash. How dare you act tough in front of me? What a joke. The Chaos Demon Ape laughed. The chaotic creatures were shocked and angered when they heard the Chaos Demon Ape's words. No one had ever looked down on them like this. After all, they were the true rulers of this world. Primitive demons. They were nothing but trash in their eyes. You. Upon hearing the Chaos Demon Ape's words, the two creatures in the chaotic world were so furious that they couldn't say a word. Only the leader of the chaotic creatures, Kuan Yuan, didn't say anything. However, behind his blackwood mask, his eyes were as sharp as blades. Roar. At this moment, an angry roar could be heard from thousands of miles away. Chaotic chi rushed out from afar and a terrifying figure could be seen in the midst of the chaotic chi. Kuan Long, who was repelled by the Chaos Demon Ape, soared into the sky and attacked the Chaos Demon Ape. The chaotic aura that blotted out the sky arrived from the horizon. In just an instant, it had enveloped the entire space. It was as if the entire region had become a chaotic void. So what if you put your life on the line? In the end, you will still lose. At this moment, the Magic Rock Lady, who was standing beside Ji Fei, sneered. She could naturally tell who had a higher chance of winning this battle. It's hard to say until the very last moment. Kang Q said disapprovingly. Is that so? Do you dare to bet with me? The Magic Rock Lady looked at Kang Q and said. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Kang Q glanced at the Magic Rock Lady and said. Very well. If I lose, this thing will be yours. With that, the Magic Rock Lady took out something from her body. She was holding a fist-sized, black, stone-like object. This object seemed inconspicuous. However, upon closer inspection, the interior of the black stone-like object seemed to be sparkling with starlight. Star iron. Kang Q was taken aback when he saw the black stone-like object. To think that the other party would take out a piece of star iron. It's your turn. The Magic Rock Lady looked at Kang Q provocatively. HMPH. Chapter 32-38. In the battle between the Chaos Demon Ape and Kuan Long showed signs of losing and had to fight the Chaos Demon Ape with all his might. However, the Chaos Demon Ape's cultivation and combat power were above Kuan Long's. Even if Kuan Long fought with all his might, he did not have a high chance of winning. However, Kang Q felt that the outcome of the battle between the Chaos Demon Ape and Kuan Long was hard to predict. After all, Kuan Long was a chaotic creature that came from a mysterious place. However, Magic Rock Lady had a different opinion. The Chaos Demon Ape was already winning and Kuan Long was at a disadvantage. The outcome was predictable. Therefore, the two of them were bored and decided to make a bet. The Demonic Rock Lady took out a piece of star iron. This was a good item. Even though it was only the size of a fist, if it was melted during the forging process, the grade of the forged Dao treasure would definitely increase by quite a bit. It was a material that even a supreme expert would be jealous of. It could be used to refine a supreme Dao weapon. What a headache. Since Magic Rock Lady took out the star iron, Kang Q had to take out something of the same grade. Otherwise, he would be laughed at by Magic Rock Lady. Even Jiu Fei was a little surprised to see the demonic Rock Lady take out the star iron. After all, it was not an ordinary crafting material. It was an immortal material. Even in the distant past, it was not easy to find such an immortal material. Some supreme experts searched the entire 9 heavens and 10 earths but could not find it. They even risked entering the endless chaos to search for it. The result was the same. The chaos was too big. Even the legendary 9 heavens and 10 earths was just a heaven and earth in the chaos. Outside the heaven and earth was the endless chaos. It was the same for the human realm, heaven realm, and other perfect worlds. They were all created in the chaos and had perfect laws of heaven and earth. At this moment, Kang Q was having a headache. The item that Magic Rock Lady took out was too heaven-defying. Even when he was a supreme god ancestor, he could not find such an item. There were too few immortal divine items in the world. However, Kang Q did not want to be looked down upon by Magic Rock Lady. He pondered for a while and his eyes lit up. Then, he started searching his body. Soon, he took out something from his body. Jiu Fei and Mo Peng Lady looked at the item in Kang Q's hand and saw that it was a black metal piece. It was only the size of an adult's palm. Moreover, what shocked Jiu Fei and the Magic Rock Lady was that this piece of black iron was actually covered in rust. It seemed to have been corroded by the rust and had already decayed. What? The demonic Rock Lady was dumbfounded when she saw Kang Q take out such an item. Jiu Fei took a closer look, but he couldn't see anything special about the black metal piece in Kang Q's hand. It was just a piece of metal that was almost rotten. However, intuition told Jiu Fei that Kang Q had been keeping this inconspicuous black iron piece for a long time, so it was definitely not simple. After all, Kang Q was a supreme god ancestor. The Supreme God Ancestor was someone who could compete with the Supreme Master. In the Ancestor God realm, the Supreme God Ancestor was the invincible Supreme Master. Of course, there were differences in the combat strength of the Supreme God Ancestor. The most powerful Supreme God Ancestor could easily kill an ordinary Supreme God Ancestor. Invincibility was always relative. Since ancient times, there seemed to be no absolutely invincible existence, and no one dared to say that they were absolutely invincible. Taoism Peer Gu, please use the peerless fierce saber to cut this iron piece. Kang Q suddenly said to Jiu Fei. Hearing this, Jiu Fei immediately turned his right hand over and a black saber appeared in his hand. Without hesitation, he directly cut the iron piece in Kang Q's hand. With a flash of saber light, the blade of the peerless fierce saber in Jiu Fei's hand had already cut the black iron piece in Kang Q's hand. However, a shocking scene appeared. Although the blade of the peerless fierce saber hit the black iron piece, there was no sound of collision. The seemingly rusty black iron piece in Kang Q's hand was actually unscathed under the peerless fierce saber's blade, not even a piece of rust fell off. How is this possible? Magic Rock Lady was dumbfounded. This inconspicuous iron piece could actually block a strike from the peerless fierce saber. This was too unbelievable. After all, it was a peerless fierce saber. Magic Rock Lady knew how terrifying the peerless fierce saber was. This was a supreme Dao weapon, so powerful that it made her heart palpitate. However, such a powerful supreme Dao weapon should be indestructible, but it could not cut the rusty black iron piece in Kang Q's hand. Could it be? Magic Rock Lady thought of a possibility. Could it be something from the previous era? At this time, Jiu Fei voiced out the doubt in Magic Rock Lady's heart. The previous era was the era before Jiu Fei and the others derived the Chaos Demon Realm. Before the Chaos Demon Realm, there should be an extremely ancient world. After that world was destroyed for countless years, the Chaos Demon Realm was born from the chaos. The destruction of a world was the end of an era. This was the reincarnation of the world. The world did not exist forever, it was also reincarnated. Of course, the reincarnation of the world was extremely long. It often went through several or even countless great eras before finally turning back into chaos and completing a reincarnation. Jiu Fei knew this because the human world had already gone through several great eras. The current human world was only formed after the disappearance of the prehistoric era. Perhaps, I also don't know the origin of this item. Kang Q said. When he had attained the extreme Dao fruit, he had traveled the world in search of materials to refine the extreme Dao artifact. He had found it in an ancient ruin. Why, this item of mine is not bad, right? Kang Q said to Magic Rock Lady. Alright, I'll bet with you, Magic Rock Lady said. Although this black metal piece was inconspicuous, it was very likely to be something from the previous era. This item was absolutely heaven-defying. To a certain extent, this item was much more precious than immortal materials. Magic Rock Lady naturally had no objections to Kang Q using this item as a bet. The outcome of this battle will be decided soon. Ji Fei said. When Kang Q and the demonic Rock Lady heard this, they immediately focused their attention on the two powerful figures that were fighting. The crazed Kuan Long was displaying a powerful combat ability. This combat ability was beyond what he could handle. But then, bloody wounds started to appear on his body. Chaos blood seeped out from the wounds. Even his forehead were full of cracks. His entire body seemed like it could collapse at any time, and his expression was extremely hideous. However, even though Kuan Long was risking his life, he still couldn't turn the tables. The Chaos Demon Ape's stone-like body was extremely powerful. He was simply a human-shaped extreme Dao weapon. Actually, the ancestor of the god-destroying demon palace wanted to refine this Chaos Demon Ape into an extreme Dao weapon. Unfortunately, after several attempts, the ancestor of the god-destroying demon palace didn't succeed. Although the ancestor of the god-destroying demon palace didn't succeed in refining the Chaos Demon Ape into an extreme Dao weapon, his body was as strong as an extreme Dao weapon. Although Kuan Long's body was tempered by chaotic chi day and night, it was still far from the strength of the Chaos Demon Ape's body. Phut! The Chaos Demon Ape punched through Kuan Long's body. But at the same time, Kuan Long's fist also landed on the Chaos Demon Ape's chest. Catcher! The Chaos Demon Ape's chest caved in like a real rock. Kuan Long's fist left a mark on the Chaos Demon Ape's chest. Cracks spread out with the fist mark as the center. The two figures quickly separated. The Chaos Demon Ape roared furiously towards the sky. Rays of Chaos Demon light rushed out from his body and revolved around him. An extreme Dao aura surged out from the Chaos Demon Ape's body. The fist mark on the Chaos Demon Ape's chest disappeared quickly. In just a few breaths' time, the fist mark and the cracks around it disappeared. However, the bloody hole on Kuan Long's body still hadn't healed. Chaos blood seeped out from the wound and dripped onto the ground. At this time, the two chaotic creatures that attacked Kuan Long earlier had already retreated. They had no choice but to retreat because Kuan Long had used the insect race's secret technique and entered a strange battle state. As long as other strong creatures appeared beside him, they would become his target. Although this battle state could raise Kuan Long's strength to the limit and stimulate all the potential in his body, the consequence was that he forgot everything else and only had one thought in his mind: fight. Roar. Kuan Long roared and attacked the Chaos Demon Ape again. He didn't care about the wounds on his body that hadn't healed yet. Streaks of chaotic light in the shape of dragons slammed towards the Chaos Demon Ape. The chaotic dragon power was so strong that each dragon shadow seemed to be able to shatter a part of the world. I'll send you on your way. The Chaos Demon Ape roared angrily. His entire body was covered in chaotic demonic light. The demonic light didn't dissipate. Instead, it turned into a rain of light that pierced towards the Kuan dragon. The chaotic dragon shadows that attacked Kuan Long immediately dissipated in the light. In the next moment, Kuan Long was also drowned in the light rain. Haha, you lost. Hand it over. Seeing this, the Demon Rock Lady laughed and extended her hand towards Kang Q. What's the rush? Chapter 32-39. The Chaos Demon Ape shot out a destructive light rain. It was countless strands of demonic light that instantly drowned the Kuan dragon in the light rain. Roar. Kuan Long's roar could be heard from within the rain of light rays. Even though he had cast the insect race's secret art and turned himself into a battle maniac, he was still no match for the Chaos Demon Ape. In just an instant, Kuan Long's mortal body was penetrated by the rain of light rays. His body melted like snow under the scorching sun. The concentrated light rays pierced through everything. Even Kuan Long's blood droplets were penetrated by the rain of light rays. His Yuan Shen couldn't escape the fate of being penetrated. Kuan Long's figure disappeared in the rain of light rays. How can the chaotic creatures be defeated so easily? Kang Q was in disbelief. That Kuan Long shouldn't have been defeated so easily by the Chaos Demon Ape. But under the Chaos Demon Ape's attack, Kuan Long was destroyed by the rain of light rays. Haha, hand it over. You lost. The Demon Rock Lady was overjoyed. She was overjoyed to be able to obtain an item from the previous era. Ji Yufei was puzzled. Why did Kang Q think that the chaotic creatures would win? At this moment, the rain of light rays disappeared and the Chaos Demon Ape appeared in the void. He then hooked his finger at the chaotic creatures. Come at me together. I will kill all of you. The Chaos Demon Ape's arrogant words enraged the chaotic creatures. HMPH, do you really think you have won? The leader of the chaotic creatures, Kuan Yuan, stared at the Chaos Demon Ape and sneered. What? The Chaos Demon Ape was taken aback. At this moment, he sensed a dangerous aura that made his heart palpitate and instantly shrouded him. In the next moment, the Chaos Demon Ape realized that he couldn't move. Hey! Something's wrong. In the sky, Ji Yufei couldn't help but frown upon seeing this. Haha, things have really taken a turn for the better. At this moment, it was Kang Q's turn to be delighted. How can this be? He's already turned into nothingness. How can he still come back to life? The Demon Rock Lady was shocked. However, a strong life force erupted from the Chaos Demon Ape's body. Unknowingly, the Chaos Demon Ape had possessed the Chaos Demon Ape's body. If you want to kill me, I'll drag you down with me. A wave of spiritual will spread out from the Chaos Demon Ape's body. A dragon shadow emerged from the Chaos Demon Ape's body and wrapped around him tightly. What? The Chaos Demon Ape was shocked. What kind of secret technique was this? At this time, even Ji Yufei couldn't help but be moved. He had personally witnessed the Kuan dragon being obliterated by the Chaos Devil Dragon's devilish light in the void. Even its primordial spirit was destroyed, but it was still alive and so powerful. Kuan Long is finished. The group of chaotic creatures fell silent and looked at the scene in front of them quietly. At this moment, Kuan Yuan, who was in the lead, took off the black mask on his face. Behind the mask was a human face. It was the face of a young man with sword-like eyebrows. He was incomparably handsome. However, those eyes were not the eyes of a human. They were a pair of chaotic pupils, and there seemed to be a world of chaos in the depths of those pupils. The 11 chaos creatures behind Kuan Yuan also took off their black wooden masks. These fellas. When Ji Yufei saw the appearance of those chaotic creatures, he was taken aback. All of these chaotic creatures had ferocious faces. They all had humanoid bodies, but they weren't humans. Behind Kuan Yuan, there was a chaotic creature with scarlet scales on its face. Even its eyes were hidden beneath the scales. As soon as it closed its eyes, the creature's eyes would instantly disappear. Another chaos creature had a skull under his mask. It was the skull of a dragon with the horns of an ancestral dragon. In the skull, there was a soul fire that was as dazzling as the sun. The black wooden mask isolated the aura of these chaos creatures. Once the black wooden mask was taken off, the aura of these chaos creatures burst out. Over a dozen chaotic creatures released their powerful auras together. Instantly, the weather changed, and the sun and the moon dimmed. These were all chaos creatures. They were naturally close to the power of chaos. Torrential chaos chi spread out from their bodies and enveloped the entire void in an instant. Kuan Long, you didn't embarrass the insect race. Kuan Yuan stared at the Chaos Demon Ape in front of him and said solemnly. He did not make a move to save the Chaos Demon Ape, even though they were from the same race. Roar. At this time, the Chaos Dragon that Kuan Long had transformed into roared. Primal chaos fire surged out of his dragon body. This was the life-true fire formed by burning his true essence. It had an extremely terrifying power. This kind of primal chaos flame that was formed from burning quintessential essence was many times more powerful than ordinary primal chaos flames. The Chaos Demon Ape's stone-like body immediately turned red when it was burned by the chaos fire. It even showed signs of melting. What? The Chaos Demon Ape was extremely shocked. One must know that his physique was extremely strong. Ordinary divine weapons would not be able to hurt him at all. However, the chaotic fire could hurt his stone-like demonic body. Seeing this, Kang Q couldn't feel happy anymore. The Chaos Demon Ape was Ji Yufei's subordinate. If he died like this, Ji Yufei would suffer a great loss. The Chaos Demon Ape isn't weak either, Ji Yufei said. He wasn't worried about the demonic ape, because it was already an incomparably powerful existence before it was refined into a stone battle demon by the ancestor of the demonic god extermination palace. It already had 1 foot in the sovereign realm. If it wasn't captured by the ancestor of the god-exterminating demon palace and refined into a stone battle demon, it would have become an invincible existence among the supremes. Even though it had been refined into a stone statue battle demon by the primogenitor of the demon-destroying palace, this Chaos Demon Ape still had the means to preserve a wisp of its memories, so it hadn't completely turned into a walking corpse. As expected, as soon as Ji Yufei finished speaking, the Chaos Demon Ape attacked. You want to drag me down with you? Do you have the right to do so? The Chaos Demon Ape sneered. Then, a shadow of the Chaos Demon Ape emerged from his body and blocked the fire of chaos on his body. Today, I will let you noble fellas know what it means to court death. The Chaos Magic Ape roared furiously, and a powerful chaos power erupted. The shadow of the Chaos Magic Ape that emerged from his body reached out and grabbed the Chaos Dragon that was entangled around him. Then, it pulled with all its might and tore the Chaos Dragon into 2. What? Chapter 3240. The battle between the Chaos Demon Ape and Kuan Long had come to an end. Kuan Long had no choice but to go all out. He used some kind of secret technique to burn his life force to unleash his greatest power. However, even so, Kuan Long was powerless to turn the situation around. The Chaos Demon Ape had the supreme bloodline flowing in his body, and the power of the bloodline was fully unleashed at this moment. A powerful shadow of a Chaos Demon Ape emerged from his body and emitted a terrifying aura. It was as though the extreme Demon Ape had appeared in the world. The shadow of the Chaos Demon Ape tore the Chaos Dragon that was coiling around the Chaos Demon Ape into 2. It was extremely ferocious. What? Witnessing this scene, the group of chaotic creatures were dumbfounded. Never had they imagined that this lowly being would actually be so powerful. This is the aura of an apex expert, Kuan Yuan muttered to himself. Although the shadow of the Chaos Demon Ape was faint and illusory, the aura it exuded shocked him. That was the aura of a true apex expert. Kuan Yuan and Kuan Long could use supreme power, but they weren't true apex experts. On the other hand, the shadow that emerged from the Chaos Demon Ape emitted a wave of energy that belonged to a true apex expert. Roar! I can't accept this, Kuan Long wailed. The dragon that was torn apart by the shadow of the Chaos Demon Ape gradually disappeared into the void. His body and soul were truly destroyed. He used this secret technique with the intention of perishing together with the Chaos Demon Ape, and he almost succeeded. Unfortunately, he didn't expect the Chaos Demon Ape to possess a supreme bloodline. This lowly creature in their eyes was actually the descendant of an apex expert. How is this possible? Kuan Long wasn't willing to die just like that. When the last trace of his consciousness dissipated in the void and returned to the world, he was truly dead. The group of chaotic creatures didn't seem too sad about Kuan Long's death. However, their expressions were solemn. Kuan Long is actually dead. After a long while, some of the chaotic creatures recovered from their shock. Kuan Long's death made them feel immense pressure. Apart from the Chaos Ancestral Lands, there were also living beings in other worlds that could cultivate to become supreme powerhouses. However, it was not the living beings in the Chaos Ancestral Lands who could become supreme powerhouses. In the eyes of the chaotic creatures, creatures that didn't come from the chaotic ancestral land, no matter how powerful they were nothing in their eyes. They were all lowly creatures. At this moment, The Chaos Devil Ape's shadow that emerged from the Chaos Devil Ape's body entered his body again and disappeared. Do you really want to kill me to avenge that guy? Come, I'll give you a chance. Come at me together, I'll kill all of you. The Chaos Demon Ape laughed heartily at the group of chaotic creatures. Reckless fool. The leader, Kuan Yuan, shook his head helplessly. He was not a Kuan dragon. Shua. He took a step forward and instantly disappeared into the void. When he reappeared in the next moment, he was already above the Chaos Demon Ape. Rumble. Kuan Yuan stomped his foot down and the entire void collapsed. A terrifying destructive aura descended and instantly enveloped the Chaos Demon Ape below. Bang! The Chaos Demon Ape didn't dare to be careless. He hurriedly punched upwards and violent chaotic demonic power exploded on his fist. Two powerful forces collided with each other. Kuan Yuan was sent flying into the sky while the Chaos Demon Ape was stomped down by Kuan Yuan. The Chaos Demon Ape was like a meteorite that fell from the sky. Boom! He smashed into the ground, causing the ground to shake and dust to rise. Roar! The Chaos Demon Ape's deep voice came from the depths of the ground. In the next moment, the ground suddenly exploded and a demonic shadow rushed up to the sky. The most powerful energy fluctuations erupted from his body. At this moment, Kuan Yuan rushed down from the sky and started fighting with the Chaos Demon Ape. Seeing this, Ji Yufei couldn't help but frown. The Chaos Demon Ape didn't seem to be a match for this fella and was suppressed in just one exchange. Ha ha ha, the metal piece from the previous era is in my hands. The Chaos Demon Ape and the Chaos Demon Ape made a bet. Although there were twists and turns in the process, the Chaos Demon Ape still won in the end. Kang Q's heart was bleeding when he lost the black metal piece. He actually misjudged the Chaos Demon Ape and the Chaos Demon Ape lost. How was this possible? The Chaos Demon Ape was the heaven patroller of this world. He was definitely the strongest existence in this world. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to become a heaven patroller. However, when these heaven patrollers encountered the power of an extreme Tao Supreme, they would also be killed. At this moment, Ji Yufei could tell that the Chaos Demon Ape was at a disadvantage. Kuan Yuan's cultivation and combat power were above Kuan Long's. Kuan Long couldn't compare to him. Boom! With a loud bang, the Chaos Demon Ape was sent flying. What goes around comes around. Damn it! The Chaos Demon Ape roared and turned to leave. He had no chance of winning against such a powerful existence. However, Kuan Yuan wouldn't let him go. He wanted to take revenge for Kuan Long and kill the Chaos Demon Ape. Rumble! The void trembled as a huge hand descended from the sky towards the Chaos Fiend Ape. Terrifying waves of energy gushed down from the huge hand, even the void was destroyed by the force of the attack. Roar! The Chaos Demon Ape roared and attacked with all his might, wanting to break through the giant hand and escape. However, he had just activated the bloodline power in his body and consumed too much of his energy. Right now, he wouldn't be able to use his bloodline power again in a short period of time. This way, the Chaos Demon Ape would be in danger. Swish! At this moment, a pitch-black thread suddenly pierced through the huge hand descending from the sky. An extremely cold aura immediately spread out, as if the void was about to solidify. The huge hand also stopped in the void. At the same time, a dragon claw grabbed towards Kuan Yuan. Extreme energy erupted. This was the attack of the dragon head demon. The Chaos Demon Ape took the opportunity to escape from the giant hand. Lowly creature, do you want to gang up on me? Come at me together then. Kuan Yuan sneered as he glanced in the direction of Ji Yufei and the others. You still don't know who the lowly creature is. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Chapter 3241. As the leader of this group of chaotic creatures, Kuan Yuan's cultivation level was naturally the highest among the 13 chaotic creatures. He was even stronger than the Kuan dragon that was killed by the Chaos Demon Ape. The insect race was also a strong race in the Chaos Origin ancestral land. Such a race might have supreme experts presiding over it. The supreme experts in the Chaos Origin ancestral land were the extreme Tao Supremes. In the Chaos Origin ancestral land, the extreme Tao Supremes were known as the supreme experts. In the Chaos Origin ancestral land, there might be existences that surpassed the supreme experts. Of course, this was also a legend in the Chaos Origin ancestral land. The Chaos Origin ancestral land was seen by the chaotic creatures as the primogenitor of the countless worlds in the chaos. All the worlds were born on the basis of the Chaos Origin ancestral land. It was also because of this that the chaotic creatures that came from the Chaos Origin ancestral land thought that they were more noble than the other worlds. However, in Gu Fei's opinion, these chaotic creatures didn't seem to be that noble. Boom! At this moment, Kuan Yuan showed his prowess. A wave of chaos power erupted from his body and directly sent the Chaos Demon Ape, the Supreme Yin Demon Spider, and the Dragon-Head Demon flying. Kuan Yuan's strength had exceeded everyone's expectations. He had resolved the attacks of the 3 stone statue demons in an instant and even sent them flying. Lowly creatures are lowly creatures after all. They can't even withstand a single blow. Kuan Yuan was extremely domineering. He glanced coldly in the direction of Gu Fei's group and revealed a look of indifference and disdain. One had to admit that he had a handsome face that was rarely seen in the world. Moreover, he had a young face. If it wasn't for the chaotic light lingering in his eyes, no one would be able to tell if he was a human. His eyes were definitely a great killing weapon. Which one of you is interested in meeting him? Gu Fei looked at Kuan Yuan and said to Kang Q and the demonic rock lady, "I'll do it. I'll beat this guy to death." Kang Q said coldly. He had just lost a rusty metal piece from the previous era to the demonic rock lady. This made him so depressed that he almost vomited blood. He had nowhere to vent his anger. "Okay." Gu Fei nodded. Swoosh. Kang Q took a step forward and instantly disappeared into the void. The next moment, a fist appeared in front of Kuan Yuan, smashing towards his extremely handsome face. At that moment, the 3 war golems wanted to continue fighting. However, Gu Fei sent them a voice transmission to stop them. Kuan Yuan's figure instantly dissipated in the void. What Kang Q's fist hit was only an afterimage of Kuan Yuan. Kuan Yuan's real body had already disappeared. This guy does have some ability. Seeing this scene from afar, Gu Fei was slightly moved. Kuan Yuan could actually dodge Kang Q's attack. This meant that this fellow had the ability to fight Kang Q. In the next moment, Kuan Yuan's figure appeared behind Kang Q. Then, he pointed a finger at the back of Kang Q's head. A beam of chaotic light immediately pierced through Kuan Yuan's finger. However, Kang Q did not dodge. He allowed the chaotic light to pierce the back of his head. However, the chaotic light could not break through his skin, let alone hurt him. Haha, it's like scratching an itch. Is that all you can do? Noble fellow? Kang Q turned around slowly and looked at Kuan Yuan with a faint smile. A powerful aura spread from his body, causing the void around him to tremble. Seeing this scene, the group of chaotic creatures in the distance were already dumbfounded. This fellow was actually unafraid of Kuan Yuan's attack. How was this possible? Kuan Yuan was an existence of the supreme experts. All the chaotic creatures were in disbelief. Even Kuan Yuan himself was in disbelief. Could this fellow's physical body be even stronger than that of a supreme expert? Kuan Yuan's guess was right. Kang Q really did have a strong physical body and power at the supreme expert level. However, he could not use the supreme expert's nomological laws. In fact, supreme experts were not terrifying because of their power, but because of their perfect Great Path nomological laws. Kang Q's cultivation had already fallen from the extreme grade realm. He could not use the extreme grade nomological laws. This was the essential difference between him and other extreme grade supremes. However, he possessed a powerful physical body that was truly at the extreme grade level. To a certain extent, this extreme grade level physical body had already reached a level where it was neither alive nor dead, so ordinary attacks couldn't destroy it. How can your physical body be so strong? Kuan Yuan was shocked when he saw that his finger couldn't hurt Kang Q at all. He was the existence closest to the supreme expert level in the insect race. Why don't you guess? Kang Q suddenly grinned and pounced towards Kuan Yuan. He stretched out his hand and his palm instantly grew to the size of a mountain, enveloping Kuan Yuan. The power of the extreme grade erupted. Kang Q's palm shackled the heaven and earth. At the same time, it also shackled Kuan Yuan, who was below the palm. What? Kuan Yuan's soul was trembling. He felt as though the void around him had solidified. He couldn't move at all and could only watch as the huge palm slammed down from the sky. This fellow. Is he an supreme expert? When Kuan Yuan thought of this, he was scared out of his wits. He knew very well how strong an supreme expert was. If Kang Q was really an supreme expert, he wouldn't be able to survive even if he had 10 lives. Looking at this scene, Ji Yufei and the demonic rock lady were calm, as they knew that although these chaotic creatures were strong, they were far from being a match for Kang Q. Kang Q used to be a supreme god ancestor. Be it cultivation level or combat power, Kuan Yuan couldn't compare with him. The Chaos Demonic Ape and the other stone statue demons were shocked too. Kang Q's combat power was much stronger than theirs. You made me lose a supreme treasure. I want your lives. Kang Q shouted angrily. Just as his palm was about to hit Kuan Yuan, a chaotic divine light suddenly shot out from the top of Kuan Yuan's head. A strong force burst out from the chaotic divine light and broke the seal of Kang Q's huge palm. At the same time, a figure appeared from the chaotic divine light. This is, under the cover of the chaotic divine light, Kuan Yuan regained his freedom and was no longer shackled. He stared at the figure in the sky in shock. How dare you hurt my descendant? You're courting death. Chapter 32-42. Kang Q's attack was naturally extraordinary. Even if Kuan Long could easily defeat the Chaos Demon Ape, he wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow from Kang Q. With just a single move, Kang Q was able to kill Kuan Long. This was the difference between Kang Q and Kuan Long. However, just as Kang Q was about to kill Kuan Long, a chaotic divine light rushed out from the top of Kuan Long's head. An incomparably powerful figure appeared between the heavens and earth. An extremely terrifying aura erupted from this figure, causing the entire world to tremble. It was as though an extreme Tao sovereign had appeared in the world. At this moment, all living beings in the Chaos Demon world felt this aura. Countless living beings were terrified to the extreme. Even those who were watching from afar felt their hearts palpitating. This battle had alarmed many experts. Some of the super forces had sent their experts to watch from afar. No one dared to get too close to a battle of this level. Haha, a mere clone dares to be so arrogant in front of me? At this moment, Kang Q laughed. How dare you act so insolently in front of me, the Chaos Primogenitor? You're dead. The figure looked down at Kang Q. The aura exuded from the blurry figure grew even stronger. It felt as though the sky was about to collapse. The void felt as though it was about to explode. The energy fluctuations from the blurry figure were too strong. Is it really the primogenitor? Kuan Yuan was shocked to the extreme. He looked at the figure in the sky and his voice was trembling. One had to know that this was the primogenitor of the insect race. The primogenitor of the insect race had hidden an incarnation in his body. Even he didn't know about it. It was his honor to be chosen by the primogenitor. As the primogenitor of the insect race, he was naturally mysterious. Even the important figures of the insect race had not seen this primogenitor before. Not even Kuan Yuan had seen him before. Chaos Primogenitor, you. Haha, what a joke. Kang Q laughed loudly. Ji Yufei, who was far in the sky, was also shocked. To think that an incarnation of the Chaos Primogenitor would appear at this moment. Could this so-called Chaos Primogenitor be an extreme Tao sovereign? Who is the primal Chaos Primogenitor? Is he that powerful? The demon rock lady said in disdain. This was just a clone, and yet it dared to proclaim itself as the primogenitor of chaos? Even living beings like them, who were born from chaos, did not dare to proclaim themselves as the primogenitor of chaos. Lowly creature, you dare to look down on me? The indistinct figure's voice was incomparably majestic, like a high and mighty ruler looking down at the ants beneath his feet. So what if I look down on you? Kang Q said coldly as he stared at the blurry figure. His gaze was as sharp as a blade as a powerful battle intent erupted from his body. Die. That figure merely uttered a single word before stretching out his hand and grabbing towards Kanku. Extreme power burst forth, and that grab of the figure seemed to be grabbing the entire void of the world in his hand. Although the huge hand hadn't really grabbed him, Kanku already felt his body tighten. It was as if there was an invisible force in the void that was imprisoning him. Humph! Kanku sneered. His body trembled, and the invisible force was immediately dispersed. He instantly regained his freedom. Have a taste of my palm as well. Kanku roared in rage and slammed his palm upwards. Raging divine power soared into the sky and instantly collided with the big hand that was grabbing him. Boom! The moment the two forces of extreme power clashed, a loud explosion was heard. At the next moment, the destructive power that spread out caused the entire void of the world to tremble violently like waves. The energy ripples that came down from the sky caused the entire ground to collapse. One after another, mountains crumbled and turned into dust. The dozens of chaotic living beings were blown away by a strong gust of wind and disappeared in an instant. Vroom! At this moment, an ancient cauldron rushed out from Jiu Fei's body. A chaotic force spread out from the ancient cauldron, blocking off the mighty energy ripples. Two incomparably powerful figures moved rapidly in the void. It was as if two extreme supreme beings were fighting. The power that erupted from them was extremely powerful. Even Kuan Yuan, whose cultivation was close to that of a supreme being, couldn't withstand such power. However, under the protection of that figure, he didn't feel any discomfort at all. That figure was merely a clone. Even if it could use a little bit of the extreme law, it definitely wasn't Kanku's opponent. This was because Kanku possessed an extremely powerful physical body. An extremely powerful physical body possessed the strength of an extreme law. Sometimes, absolute power could destroy everything. Even a little bit of the extreme law of the clone could be destroyed. Boom! Kanku executed a killing technique and blasted the clone and Kuan Yuan away. Roar! Kuan Yuan roared furiously. Although Kanku's attack wasn't aimed at him, the powerful impact still made him suffer. Cracks appeared on his body, and it seemed like he would shatter at any moment. With Kanku's attack, these guys are doomed. Demon Rock Lady, who was standing beside Jiu Fei, said. Kanku's strength was undeniable. He was once a supreme god ancestor. Back in the ancestral god realm, Kanku was a supreme being. It's hard to say now. Jiu Fei looked at the scene in front of him and his eyes became incomparably deep. What did you say? Demon Rock Lady looked at Jiu Fei in disbelief. Did she see wrongly? Kanku already had the upper hand and was suppressing his opponent. How could he still not win? See for yourself. Jiu Fei said. Demon Rock Lady was stunned. She looked forward and saw that the clone that claimed to be the Chaos Ancestor had rushed into Kuan Yuan's body. This, Demon Rock Lady couldn't help but be shocked when she saw this. Roar! At this moment, Kuan Yuan roared and an extremely powerful wave of energy erupted from his body. He seemed to have turned into an extreme supreme being. Kill! Kuan Yuan suddenly stopped struggling and roaring. Then, he let out a strange smile and shouted at Kanku. He directly attacked Kanku. Kuan Yuan waved his hand and rays of chaotic energy transformed into divine light that rushed out from his hand and pierced towards Kanku. At this moment, the primal chaos primogenitor's incarnation had entered Kuan Yuan's body and was made of flesh and blood. This way, the primal chaos primogenitor's incarnation could use all sorts of killing techniques. Chapter 32-43. The incarnation of the Chaos Ancestor actually took over Kuan Yuan's body. This way, the incarnation had a body of flesh and blood and could perform all sorts of killing techniques. One should know that most killing techniques could only be performed with a body of flesh and blood. The incarnation of the Chaos Ancestor was just a shadow. However, it was different now. The incarnation of the Chaos Ancestor had taken over Kuan Yuan's body. Kuan Yuan seemed to have turned into a supreme expert in an instant. The power that emanated from his body shook the heaven and earth. As long as he willed it, he could destroy the heaven and earth. It gave off a supreme feeling that he was above all the living beings in the world. At this moment, the souls of countless living beings in the Chaos Demon world were trembling. They had an urge to kneel down in the direction of the figure. The incarnation of the Chaos Ancestor seems to be quite capable. In the sky, Jiyu Fei couldn't help but be moved when he saw the figure. This technique could only be performed by a supreme existence. Without a doubt, this so-called Chaos Primogenitor was definitely an extreme supreme being. Otherwise, how could a mere incarnation possess such power? It's just an incarnation after all. The demonic rock lady said disapprovingly. She was once the extreme demon ancestor, so she naturally knew about such techniques. She didn't think that the Chaos Ancestor could defeat Kang Q with such techniques. Haha, let's see how it goes. Jiyu Fei laughed. At this moment, the two experts had already started fighting. The aura of the Supreme Path was vast. Kang Q's face was extremely solemn. 9 Dao patterns appeared on his body and the power of the Supreme Path erupted from his body. However, if one looked closely, the 9 Dao patterns that emerged from Kang Q's body were filled with almost invisible cracks. This was the reason why he had fallen from the Supreme Path realm. It was originally a flawless Dao pattern, but a crack had appeared, and the perfect Great Dao became flawed. With a flawed Great Dao, one naturally wouldn't be an extreme supreme. Boom! Bang! 2 powerful silhouettes moved rapidly in the void, constantly clashing. The power of the extreme Dao level erupted, and the void was directly blasted apart. Many pitch-black spatial holes appeared in the void, and each of the spatial holes was filled with vast and mighty primal chi. These two fellows were simply like 2 gods of destruction. Everywhere they passed, the void would explode and primal chaos chi would be blasted out. This was a power that could destroy the world. The sky was trembling, and the stars in the sky were shaking as if they would fall from the starry sky at any moment. They seemed to be evenly matched. The Chaos Devil Ape said. The battle prowess displayed by these 2 fellows was indeed much stronger than theirs. They couldn't help but feel unconvinced. No matter what world one was in, the rule of the strong was still an unchanging truth. If one's fist was harder than others, then one would be the boss. If others' fists were harder than one's, then that person would be the boss. It was that simple. Upon hearing the Chaos Demon Ape's words, the Magic Rock Lady smiled without saying a word. As for Jiyu Fei, he had been watching the battle in front of him. He had cultivated the martial path Heaven's Eye, and he could see every movement of these 2 fellows clearly. Such a battle was very important to him. He wanted to take that step forward, but he could only fumble around on his own. He needed to learn from others, and this was the best example. This was because Kang Q and the Chaos Ancestor's incarnation were existences that were infinitely close to the extreme Dao. Although they weren't extreme Dao supremes, every move they made released a kind of natural Dao aura. Jiyu Fei was capturing the traces of Dao aura that were infinitely close to the extreme Dao realm. Kill. At this moment, Kang Q directly executed his killing technique and attacked Kuan Yuan. Rays of divine light interweaved in the void, forming a huge net that enveloped Kuan Yuan. Kuan Yuan smiled and directly charged into the huge net formed by the interweaving divine light. He was actually walking right into the trap. This Kuan Yuan was naturally no longer the Kuan Yuan from before. This Kuan Yuan's physical body had already been taken over by the incarnation of the Chaos Ancestor. Fortunately, Kuan Yuan's physical body was strong enough. Otherwise, Kuan Yuan's physical body would have instantly crumbled the moment the Chaos Ancestor took over. Swoosh! The Chaos Ancestor raised his hand and shot out a ray of divine light. That ray of divine light instantly broke a hole in the huge net that enveloped Kuan Yuan. The primal Chaos Primogenitor charged through the opening in the net. Roar! The Chaos Ancestor roared angrily. His body swayed, and he directly transformed into an extremely terrifying chaos beast that pounced towards Kang Q. As he pounced, the entire void immediately broke into pitch-black spatial cracks. Isn't he just a beast born from the chaos? How dare he call himself the Chaos Ancestor? What a joke! Kang Q said disdainfully. At the same time, he waved both his hands, and an extreme Dao divine light shot up into the sky, slashing towards the chaos beast that was pouncing towards him. Clang! The chaos beast directly reached out its claws and slapped the extreme Dao divine light that shot up into the sky. A strong force exploded, and the extreme Tao divine light was actually slapped away by the Chaos Beast's claws. Then, it shattered in the void. In the next moment, Kang Q was actually sent flying. What, in the distant sky, Jiu Fei and the others, who were using the power of the mountain and river cauldron to protect themselves, could not help but be astonished when they saw this scene. It seemed like the Chaos Ancestor's incarnation was not that simple. Damn it. Kang Q was sent flying thousands of feet away. He steadied himself, and his body emitted a towering divine light that lit up the entire sky. The 9 incomplete extreme Dao patterns that rushed out of Kang Q's body directly turned into 9 extremely dazzling sword lights that floated around him. Every beam of sword light radiated with extreme grade sword chi. Of course, this was only the power of extreme grade. There were no fluctuations of extreme grade laws radiating from the sword light. Hence, this was purely the power of the extreme Tao. When one's cultivation reached the extreme Tao realm, the power of the extreme Tao did not mean everything. The perfect great Tao laws were the most important. The extreme Tao laws were even more terrifying than the power of the extreme Tao. This was because the cultivation of the extreme Tao supremacy had already surpassed the scope of power. Go! Kang Q did not hesitate. He waved his right hand, and the 9 sword lights that floated around him immediately pierced through the Chaos Beast that was attacking him. Everywhere the 9 sword lights passed, the void was directly destroyed. The vast and mighty sword chi waves even affected the stars in the starry sky, causing them to tremble. Kang Q had already used the killing technique that he could use. The 9 sword lights were extremely fast. In an instant, they pierced through the Chaos Beast. The extremely strong Chaos Beast did not even have a chance to dodge. Roar! The Chaos Beast roared crazily. The 9 sword lights left 9 penetrating holes in its body. Chaos blood kept flowing out of the holes. A terrifying power of destruction was destroying its life force. Its body was being destroyed. After the 9 sword lights pierced through the Chaos Beast's body, they did not dissipate. Instead, they flew back to Kang Q's side and floated around him. At this moment, the Chaos Beast disappeared. Kuan Yuan's figure appeared in the void. There were also 9 holes in his body, and chaos blood was flowing out. The Chaos Ancestor looked at Kang Q in disbelief. Then, with a boom, his body exploded and turned into a cloud of blood mist. A blurry figure also disappeared in the void with the dissipation of the blood mist. At this moment, Kang Q wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. Then, he retracted the 9 extreme Tao patterns. The 9 sword lights turned back into Tao patterns and disappeared into his body. See, how can an incarnation fight against Kang Q? Demonic Rock Lady said. She had already expected such an outcome. Hearing this, Jiu Fei nodded and did not say anything. After all, Kang Q used to be your extreme Tao god ancestor. If he could not even deal with an incarnation, he would be too useless. However, Jiu Fei also knew that he could not fathom the methods of her extreme Tao Supreme Master. Even an incarnation was enough to destroy existences like them. Only Kang Q and Demonic Rock Lady, who used to be her extreme Tao Supreme Master, knew how powerful and terrifying such existences were. Alright, you guys go and kill those noble guys. Then, gather the scattered people. We are going back. Jiu Fei ordered the Chaos Demon Ape and the other 2 stone statue demons. Yes. The Chaos Demon Ape, the Tai Yin Demon Spider, and the Dragon Head Demon quickly accepted the order and rushed into the distance. The group of chaotic creatures were swept away by the aftermath of the battle between Kang Q and the Chaos Ancestor. These guys did not die. Instead, they hid and watched the battle from afar. At this moment, when those guys saw the Chaos Demon Ape and the other stone statue demons rushing towards them, these so-called noble guys turned around and fled. Some of the chaotic creatures directly crushed the secret treasures in their hands and instantly disappeared into the void, fleeing directly. However, not all the chaotic creatures had secret treasures that could allow them to escape directly. This was because such secret treasures were only owned by the descendants of the big clans. In this way, 6 of the 11 chaotic creatures had escaped, leaving only 5. This is outrageous. Seeing this, The Chaos Demon Ape and the other stone statue demons could not help but be furious. Before they reached the 5 chaotic creatures, they had already attacked. Countless demonic lights rushed out from their bodies and directly engulfed the 5 chaotic creatures. Those chaotic creatures only had time to let out a blood-curdling screech before they died. However, 6 chaotic creatures escaped, which made the Chaos Demon Ape and the other stone statue demons very depressed. Just as the Chaos Demon Ape and the other stone statue demons were attacking the chaotic creatures, Mo Mingtian had already gathered many scattered cultivators from Black Demon Mountain. Even Phoenix Sparrow Demon Girl heard the news and appeared. Chapter 3244. On that day, when the 13 chaotic creatures attacked, the experts of Black Demon Mountain were defeated and scattered by the 13 chaotic creatures. However, many of them managed to escape safely. Only Demon Venerable Luo Peng was unlucky and died in the hands of a chaotic creature. Blood Devil, the Meng brothers, and the demonic Rock Emperor saw that the situation was not good and immediately fled. They fled even faster than Mystical Demon Mountain Master. However, Mystical Demon Mountain Master, Phoenix Sparrow Witch, and the others were a step slower and were almost wiped out by the 13 chaotic creatures. It should be known that Blood Devil, the Meng brothers, the demonic Rock Emperor, and Mo Mingtian were not cultivators of Mystical Demon Mountain. They only listened to Jiyu Fei's orders. Therefore, Mystical Demon Mountain was not in charge of these guys. If they wanted to escape, he could not stop them. However, it was a fact that the people of Mystical Demon Mountain were almost wiped out by the 13 chaotic creatures. If they were a step slower, they would have been long gone from this world. No one knew why the chaotic creatures attacked Mystical Demon Mountain, but this was not something Jiyu Fei wanted to know. Whoever dared to provoke him would suffer serious consequences. This time, only 6 of the 13 chaotic creatures managed to escape. The rest were all killed. The fall of the chaotic creatures would definitely set off an unimaginable storm, but Jiyu Fei did not care. After all, he was just a passerby in the chaotic demon realm. Jiyu Fei had no intention of attacking the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan, but the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan had to pay a price. He sent Blood Devil to the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan. Blood Devil's purpose in going to the 2 primitive demons was very simple. He wanted to send a message to the 2 clans that Jiyu Fei wanted to borrow a teleportation formation platform. Jiyu Fei knew that when the passageway between the chaotic demon realm and the ancestral god realm was still there, the creatures of the 2 worlds could travel between them. As the primitive demons, the Stone Demon Tribe and the Willow Demon Tribe should have set up a teleportation formation in the ancestral god realm. In the ancestral lands of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan, there was a corresponding teleportation formation. The 2 clans could sense each other, so they could naturally teleport across realms. What? Does this malefic star want to leave the Chaos Demon realm? The patriarch of the Stone Demon Clan, Shahong, and the patriarch of the Willow Demon Clan, Liu Tianjing, were both surprised. This fiend only wanted to borrow the portal. Then what about our Grand Mist Chaos Demon Bead? It's still in that evil star's hands. The patriarch of the Stone Devil Clan, Shahong, said fiercely. The primordial Chaos Demon Bead had been seized by Jiyu Fei from the Stone Infant. Of course, since even the primordial Chaos Demon Bead had been seized, the Stone Infant was naturally dead. The Stone Demon Clan wanted to take back the primordial Chaos Demon Bead from Jiyu Fei's hands, but Jiyu Fei was not someone to be trifled with. It was impossible for the Stone Demon Clan to take anything from him. The same was true for the Willow Demon Clan. A willow twig from their ancestor had been taken away, and the person who took it was none other than Jiyu Fei. However, Liu Tianjing did not dare to attack Jiyu Fei recklessly. Those guys who attacked the Mystical Demon Mountain last time had already made a mess of themselves. Even if they wanted to attack Jiyu Fei, they would need to have a detailed plan. But now, Jiyu Fei actually wanted to borrow their portal. Should he or should he not? This gave the patriarch of the Stone Demon Clan, Shahong, a huge headache. Another person who had a headache was the patriarch of the Willow Demon Clan, Liu Tianjing. If they did not lend it, they would offend Jiyu Fei, and the consequences would be unpredictable. In Liu Tianjing's opinion, Ji Fei was a malefic star. No one could guess what he would do or how he would react. After Blood Devil delivered the message, he returned. The people of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan did not make things difficult for him and allowed him to leave. At this moment, no one would dare to offend Ji Fei. After all, this fella had just killed those 13 beings of chaos. His might alone was enough to shock everyone. As for the primitive demons, they naturally knew something about the chaotic creatures. The chaotic creatures were the Sky Patrollers. In the chaotic demonic realm, they were the supreme rulers. This was not a secret to the primitive demons. These so-called Sky Patrollers were not recognized by the primitive demons. However, the chaotic creatures were so powerful that even the primitive demons were wary of them. Originally, they thought that Ji Fei and the others would die with the help of the chaotic creatures. Unexpectedly, this guy even dared to kill the chaotic creatures. He was really crazy. The War Demon Clan, which originally pledged allegiance to Ji Fei, drew a clear line with Mystical Demon Mountain after the chaotic creatures defeated them. However, at this moment, the higher-ups of the War Demon Clan were filled with regret. No one expected that Ji Fei would return in such a strong manner. Of course, it was impossible for the War Demon Clan to pledge allegiance to Ji Fei. Without the protection of the god-destroying Demon Palace and Ji Fei, the War Demon Clan was not far from being exterminated. The chaotic demonic realm was a world where the strong preyed on the weak. If a weak clan did not pledge allegiance to a strong clan, there would only be one outcome: extermination. Naturally, the War Demon Clan did not want to be exterminated by other strong clans. At this moment, Ji Fei had no time to pay attention to the War Demon Clan. He was waiting for the reply of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan. The ancient city that the forces of Mystical Demon Mountain once occupied was cleaned up. At this moment, Ji Fei was sitting on the throne in the main hall of the City Lord Mansion. He was lying lazily on the spacious seat, which was covered with soft fur. It was very comfortable. At this moment, he seemed to not want to do anything. In front of the throne stood many figures. No one said a word. Kang Q and the magic rock which were not present. No one knew where they went. Of course, Ji Fei knew that they would definitely return. Just like that, an hour passed. Blood Devil and Phoenix Sparrow Witch, who were standing at the front, were sweating profusely. Behind the Blood Devil and the Phoenix Sparrow Witch stood many experts from the Black Demon Mountain. Of course, Luo Peng was not among them because he had already died. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps was heard. A figure walked in from outside the main hall. Phoenix Sparrow Witch and Blood Devil did not dare to turn around. But soon, they knew who it was. It was Demonic Rock Emperor. "Greetings, Master." Demonic Rock Emperor quickly walked to Ji Fei's throne and bowed to Ji Fei. "Speak." Ji Fei did not raise his head and said lazily, "Master, we have not found the Lord of Mystical Demon Mountain." Demonic Rock Emperor said respectfully, "Then go look for him." "Why did you come back?" Ji Fei said, "Master, although we have no news of the Lord of Mystical Demon Mountain, we unexpectedly found the whereabouts of the 6th Demon Lord." Demonic Rock Emperor said, "The 6th Demon Lord." Ji Fei was not surprised to hear this. To be precise, he did not take the 6th Demon Lord seriously, so he did not pay much attention to him. "That guy is still alive," Ji Fei said. That day, the 6th Demon Lord and the Meng brothers fought their way into the depths of the starry sky. The Meng brothers were unable to kill this guy. Demonic Rock Emperor said, "Ever since Ji Fei entered the small world of the Destruction Demon Palace, the ancient city where the cultivators of Mystical Demon Mountain were located had suffered more than 10 attacks. The attacks of these mysterious cultivators naturally could not cause too much damage to the experts of Mystical Demon Mountain, but these harassing attacks were very troublesome. Go tell Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers to stop what they are doing, then go and get rid of the 6th Demon Lord." Ji Fei said, "Yes, Master." After receiving the order, Demonic Rock Emperor glanced at Blood Devil and Phoenix Sparrow Witch with a faint smile, then left the main hall. "All right, aren't you guys going to say something?" Ji Fei suddenly raised his head and looked at Phoenix Sparrow Witch and Blood Devil. "Master, You, Phoenix Sparrow Witch said hesitantly. All right, all of you can leave. Ji Fei waved his hand impatiently and said. Yes, Master. Phoenix Sparrow Witch and Blood Devil didn't dare to say anything. They carefully retreated out of the hall. The people behind them also retreated out of the hall. What do you think Master is trying to do? Outside the main hall, Blood Devil transmitted his voice to Phoenix Sparrow Witch next to him. How would I know? Phoenix Sparrow Witch said snappily. She had been standing here for the whole morning, but her master didn't say anything. No one knew what her master was thinking. However, Mystic Demon Mountain had suffered a great defeat and was utterly defeated by the 13 chaotic creatures. Countless cultivators had perished in this ancient city. Ji Fei needed an explanation. Even if the 13 chaotic creatures were extremely powerful, Mystical Demon Mountain couldn't have been defeated so thoroughly. Perhaps there was a traitor in the ancient city. Ah, what a headache. On the throne in the main hall, Ji Fei muttered to himself. Whether it was the primitive demons or the chaotic creatures, they weren't easy to deal with. If they were forced into a corner, the consequences would be unimaginable. Of course, the biggest problem was that Ji Fei still hadn't found a way to return to the human world. He could only go to the ancestral god realm to take a look. However, once he left the Chaos Demon realm, the forces he established here would definitely be annexed by other Demon Dao forces. This was without a doubt. With the strength of Mystical Demon Mountain's lord and the others, it was impossible for them to compete with the primitive demons who had been passed down for countless years. Kang Q was going to the ancestral god realm with him. That was his hometown. However, Demon Rock Witch's cultivation wasn't weak. If she was willing to help take care of the guys from Mystical Demon Mountain, he wouldn't have to worry about Mystical Demon Mountain being annexed even if he left the Chaos Demon realm. Looks like I have to talk to Demon Rock Witch. Chapter 3245. Naturally, Ji Fei would not give up on the force that he had painstakingly built up. After all, such a force could definitely help him a lot. If he wanted to keep his force in the Chaos Demon realm after he left, he would have to rely on the Magic Rock Lady. She would probably be happy to help him. However, at this time, the Magic Rock Lady had already left. Even Ji Fei did not know where she went. However, Ji Fei was not worried that the Magic Rock Lady would never return. After all, the ancestral land of the Chaos Demon Rock race was still in Ji Fei's inner world. Unless the Magic Rock Lady did not want the ancestral land of the Chaos Demon Rock race. Sigh, there are really not many people who can really help me. Ji Fei sighed and directly fell asleep on the soft and comfortable throne like an ordinary person. At his level of cultivation, there was no need for him to cultivate. Even if he cultivated with all his might, his cultivation would not improve. Wanting to take that final step was absolutely not an easy thing to do. Since ancient times until now, it was unknown how many genius cultivators had bitterly cultivated for countless years, yet in the end, they either died or were stuck in the quasi-exalted realm for countless years, unable to advance in their cultivation. Only a very small number of people could cultivate the flawless Great Path and obtain the supreme Dao fruit. In fact, Ji Fei cherished the ordinary days that he had experienced with Yang birth, old age, sickness, and death. This was the reincarnation of an ordinary person. Walking through the human world and forgetting the past, only thinking about the present and the future. This allowed Ji Fei's state of mind to undergo a perfect transformation. His cultivation and combat strength had also greatly improved. However, this method had already been used once. It would not work now. Ji Fei had already entered the human world once. If he entered again, he would not be able to comprehend anything. At this time, Ji Fei completely concealed his aura. He looked like an ordinary person who would also feel sleepy and sleep. Soon, a snoring sound came from the throne of the City Lord's mansion. Even the cultivators of Mystic Demon Mountain who were guarding outside the hall heard the sound coming from inside the hall. The two guards outside looked at each other in shock. However, they didn't dare to enter the hall because they could only enter if Ji Fei summoned them. Even if the Lord of Mystic Demon Mountain came, it would be the same. Ji Fei was actually sleeping. When the news spread, Everyone in the ancient city was indescribably shocked. At his cultivation level, there was no need for him to sleep at all. None of the cultivators in the ancient city knew what Ji Yufei was doing. At this time, Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers were chasing after the sixth demon ancestor in a mountain ridge. The sixth demon ancestor of the exterminating god-devil palace had fought with the Meng brothers and had slaughtered his way into the depths of the starry sky. When he sensed that something was wrong, he immediately fled. The sixth demon lord wielded the god-slaying demonic spear, which was an extreme demonic weapon left behind by the primogenitor of the god-slaying demonic palace. Because of this, the Meng brothers allowed the sixth demon ancestor to escape. That was why the Meng brothers didn't kill the sixth demon ancestor. Swish! 3 figures quickly swept through the void and disappeared into the depths of the mountain. They were Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers. They directly rushed into the depths of the mountain. Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers directly landed on a mountain peak. This place was filled with devil energy. Black devil clouds floated high up in the sky, blocking the sunlight from the sky, causing the surroundings to be incomparably dark. The surroundings of the mountain range were not barren. There were trees that were commonly seen in the demon plain growing there. The trees were not too tall and their leaves were as hard as iron. Their trunks were incomparably tough. Most Dao artifacts would be incapable of cutting down these demonic black iron trees. The short black iron devil trees were everywhere in the mountain. It was absolutely not an easy matter for Mo Mingtian and the others to find the sixth demon ancestor. This sixth demon ancestor was very cunning and would not be easily found. Preposterous. Mo Mingtian was filled with hatred. He was truly unwilling to let that guy escape. One must know that his master had already ordered them to kill the sixth demon ancestor. That guy must be hiding nearby. The eldest of the Meng brothers said with certainty. The sixth demon ancestor could not have escaped far because they had been chasing after him. That's right. The second brother of the Meng family said. Let's split up. Mo Mingtian said. Without waiting for the Meng brothers to speak, his figure flashed and disappeared from the mountain peak. His speed was extremely fast. The Meng brothers glanced at each other. Then, they turned into black and white devil lights and disappeared into the void. Swish! Just as Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers left, a devil shadow walked out from the side of the mountain. A bunch of fools. The devil shadow sneered and said. This guy was the sixth demon ancestor of the god extermination demon palace. He was hiding at the side just now, but Mo Mingtian and the others could not sense his existence. The sixth demon ancestor was about to leave, but at this moment, a wave of divine will enveloped him instantly. He was truly shocked by it. Junior, why are you leaving so quickly? A black shadow appeared in front of the sixth demon ancestor. This person was a tall old man in black robes. His body was shrouded in devil chi and was faintly discernible. It's you. The sixth demon ancestor was startled when he saw the old man. This guy was very hard to deal with. He was even harder to deal with than Mo Mingtian. If you know what's good for you, then get lost. The sixth demon ancestor stared at the old man. His eyes were as sharp as the edge of a blade, as if it could pierce through the void. Little guy, you must know how to respect the old and cherish the young. The old man did not mind and said indifferently. 2 bloody lights were faintly discernible in the devil chi. That was his gaze. Flaunting your seniority? Respect your head. The sixth demon ancestor clenched his teeth and said. The current situation was very unfavorable for him. Those guys who just left might return soon. This was definitely not a good thing. Roar. At this moment, an angry roar came from afar. *T, the sixth devil lord was truly taken aback right now. What he feared had really come true. Get lost. The sixth demon ancestor made his move. He roared and slapped his palm towards the devil shadow in front of him. Terrifying devil chi surged forward like a raging wave. The old man did not dodge. Instead, he stretched out his right hand and slapped forward. Boom! A muffled sound rang out. 2 palms instantly collided with each other. Then, the 2 forces instantly exploded and clashed against each other, forming a terrifying shockwave that spread in all directions. Chapter 3246. Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers were chasing after the fish that escaped the net of the exterminating demon palace. This fish that escaped the net of the exterminating demon palace was the sixth demon lord. The sixth demon lord was extremely cunning. Moreover, he possessed the exterminating demon spear of the exterminating demon palace. It could be said that this guy was extremely dangerous. Even Mo Mingtian did not dare to be careless. The Meng brothers did not dare to be careless either. One should know that if they were not careful, they would be the ones to die. At this time, the sixth demon lord was intercepted by an old man. Without any suspense, the sixth demon lord and the old man began to fight. Powerful energy waves spread out, shaking the void. Black cracks that were even larger than mountains continued to appear in the void. The two experts moved quickly in the void, clashing with each other continuously. At this moment, a furious roar came from afar. A figure rushed towards the sixth demon ancestor at an extremely fast speed. This person was Mo Mingtian, who had left earlier. At the same time, an incomparably powerful wave of demonic energy came from another direction. Damn it! The sixth demon lord was anxious. He knew that once Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers arrived, there would only be one ending for him. He would be killed by them. Buzz. At this time, a trembling sound came from his right hand. A demonic spear vibrated in his hand, releasing an unimaginably powerful wave of energy. The sixth demon lord used his exterminating demon weapon. However, the old man dodged at the first moment. Swoosh. At the same time, the sixth demon lord made his move. The demonic spear in his hand turned into an immortal demonic light, piercing towards the retreating old man. The demonic light from the exterminating demon spear was extremely fast. Even though the old man had dodged in advance, the demonic light still caught up to him and pierced through his body. What? The old man was shocked. One should know that this was the power of exterminating demon weapon. Even an existence like Kang Q would be injured if he was hit by it. This old man was not an ordinary person. He was a descendant of the Chaos Demonic Rock Lady. His status in the Chaos Demonic Rock race was not low. The old man's body, which had been pierced by the extreme demonic spear, began to turn to ash. It was as if he had been burned by demonic fire, and the fire spread from the wound. However, the old man wasn't in a hurry. A black gourd rushed out from his body. The mouth of the gourd emitted a heaven-devouring power that forcefully absorbed the destructive energy that invaded his body. The old man's body was pierced by the demonic light, and wisps of demonic fire were emitted. The demonic gourd swallowed the fire. The wounds on the old man's body immediately regenerated and he recovered. "Little brat, how dare you hurt your grandfather? Get in here." The old man grabbed the demonic gourd and patted the bottom of the demonic gourd. An even more powerful devouring power immediately surged out of the demonic gourd and swallowed the sixth demon lord. The sixth demon lord was not in the mood to continue fighting. He used the demonic spear in his hand to tear through the void. He then took a step forward and rushed into the chaotic void. Roar! An angry roar was heard as a yin-yang demon hand descended from the sky and grabbed at the crack in the void. It wanted to pull the sixth demon lord out of the crack. It was the Meng brothers. At the same time, a demonic chain rushed over from the sky and rushed into the crack in the void. It coiled around the figure in the crack. Rumble! The void shook and the chaotic chi in the crack was vast. The sixth demon lord waved the demonic spear in his hand and pierced through the yin-yang demon hand. However, the demonic chain instantly coiled around the sixth demon lord's body. The other end of the demonic chain was in Mo Mingtian's hand. Mo Mingtian pulled hard, wanting to pull the sixth demon lord out of the crack in the void. The demonic chain clanged and the sixth demon lord was immediately pulled out of the crack by Mo Mingtian. However, at this time, the crack in the void was constantly shrinking. The power of the void was constantly repairing the crack. Clang! The sixth demon lord waved the demonic spear in his hand and the demonic chain coiled around his body immediately broke. At the same time, the crack in the void was almost completely repaired. Mo Mingtian, Meng brothers, just you wait. I will kill you sooner or later. The sixth demon lord's voice came through the crack in the void. Chmph, do you have the ability? Mo Mingtian said disdainfully. I'm a bit late. The Meng brothers rushed over from afar. He escaped again. How preposterous. Mo Mingtian was filled with hatred. It seemed like it would not be easy to kill this guy. This was troublesome. Not only was Mo Mingtian having a headache, but the Meng brothers were also having a headache. One should know that their master had already ordered them to get rid of the sixth demon lord. What should we do now? The Meng brothers said. This time, that guy had escaped into the primal chaos. How were they going to find him in the primal chaos? What else can we do? I don't believe that guy will hide in the primal chaos forever. Mo Mingtian said helplessly. At this time, the old man turned around and left. His figure quickly dimmed and disappeared into the void. Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers left the place soon after. They could not return to the ancient city to report to Jiyu Fei. They could only continue to chase after the sixth demon lord. Only by getting rid of the sixth demon lord would they have the face to go back and report. At this time, in the ancient city, a person arrived outside the city lord's mansion. This person walked straight into the city lord's mansion and arrived outside the main hall of the city lord's mansion. Greetings, Mountain Lord. The two disciples of the Black Demon Mountain who were guarding outside the main hall hurriedly greeted the person. The person just nodded and did not say anything. This person was the Black Demon Mountain Lord. He had received the news and rushed back. The Golden Rock Goddess of the Primal Chaos Golden Rock race also came back with him. However, the Golden Rock Goddess did not come to see Jiyu Fei. Instead, she directly returned to the palace where Kang Qiu was staying. At this time, Kang Qiu was not in his residence. On the other hand, Mount Master of Mystic Demon Mountain came directly to see Jiyu Fei. However, snoring sounds could be heard in the main hall. Jiyu Fei was lying on the throne, sleeping soundly. This shocked the Black Demon Mountain Lord. He had something to report to Jiyu Fei, but he did not dare to disturb Jiyu Fei's rest. In the end, the Black Demon Mountain Lord could only wait outside the main hall. Chapter 3247. Jiyu Fei was sleeping soundly in the main hall of the mansion. No one dared to disturb him. His snores lingered in the hall. He hadn't slept so comfortably in a long time. At Jiyu Fei's level of cultivation, he had returned to his natural state. As long as he wanted to, he could be an ordinary creature in the mortal world. No one could recognize him. As long as he wanted to, he could become a supreme being, the ruler of millions of living beings. But now, he just wanted to be an ordinary person and have a good sleep. He wanted to forget all his troubles and let his mind completely return to peace. Even if it was only for a short moment, it would be very precious to him. Outside the main hall, Black Demon Mountain Lord had been waiting. He didn't dare to leave. Black Demon Mountain was almost wiped out by the 13 chaotic creatures. No one could help him bear this responsibility. At this time, Black Demon Mountain Lord's heart was restless. Although he had escaped the calamity of the chaotic creatures, he didn't know how Jiyu Fei would punish him. Thinking of this, Black Demon Mountain Lord's forehead was sweating. At this time, another person walked in from outside the main hall. This person was Blood Devil. Seeing Black Demon Mountain Lord pacing outside the main hall, he quickly went over. "Brother Mountain Lord, is Master awake?" Blood Devil cupped his hands and said to Black Demon Mountain Lord. Black Demon Mountain Lord glanced at Blood Devil and shook his head. A trace of imperceptible disgust flashed across his face. When the chaotic creatures attacked, this guy ran faster than anyone else. If these guys didn't run, perhaps Black Demon Mountain wouldn't have lost so badly. However, at this time, Black Demon Mountain Lord didn't want to offend Blood Devil. One must know that Blood Devil was directly under Master's command. Black Demon Mountain Lord had no right to order this guy. Blood Devil was also a great demon venerable. He wasn't weaker than Black Demon Mountain Lord. At this time, Blood Devil also heard the snores coming from the main hall. He had something to report to Jiyu Fei, but he didn't dare to disturb Jiyu Fei. "What's the matter?" Black Demon Mountain Lord glanced at the anxious Blood Devil and asked. "Yes. The Stone Demon Clan and Willow Demon Clan have replied. Blood Devil said. At this time, the people of the Stone Devil clan and Willow Devil clan were still waiting outside, but Jiu Fei was sleeping soundly at this time. They're willing to borrow the legendary array platform that can teleport across worlds. Mystic Demon Mountain Lord was very surprised. One had to know that this kind of formation platform was incomparably precious. Only existences at the extreme grade Supreme Being level could refine it. Even quasi-supreme beings couldn't refine it. But now, the true extreme Tao Supreme Beings had disappeared, and no one could refine such a formation platform anymore. Therefore, if such a formation platform was damaged, it could not be repaired. If one was damaged, there would be one less formation platform. The Transrealm formation platform wasn't a single platform, but a pair. With only one platform, it was impossible to use metal elemental transrealm teleportation, because without the coordinates of the other world, how could it be possible to use it? Therefore, this kind of transrealm formation platform appeared in pairs, one for each world. This way, one could freely travel between the two worlds through the transrealm formation platform. Although Mystic Demon Mountain Lord had just returned to the ancient city, he had heard a lot of news. Previously, Jiu Fei sent Blood Devil to the Stone Demon Clan and Willow Demon Clan in order to borrow the Transrealm formation platform from the two clans. It seems that you have good news for the Master. Mystic Demon Mountain Lord looked at Blood Devil and said with a serious expression. Yes, haha. Blood Devil laughed. At this time, Phoenix Witch also came. She glanced at Blood Devil, then said to Mystic Demon Mountain Lord, Mountain Lord, our people have all been found. On that day, countless cultivators of Mystic Demon Mountain were killed by the 13 chaotic creatures and fled in all directions. Naturally, there were many cultivators who escaped and survived. However, there weren't many cultivators who survived. Even if all of them were found, there were less than 1,000. Compared to the 100,000 demonic soldiers in the past, this was only a fraction. Those guys are so ruthless. I can't coexist with them. Mystic Demon Mountain Lord gritted his teeth and said. His eyes flashed with a fierce light, like a hidden peerless demonic beast that could attack at any time. He was really angry. Ever since he took control of Mystic Demon Mountain, he had never encountered such a huge setback. The 100,000 demonic soldiers that he had trained for countless years were destroyed. His powerful subordinates were either killed or injured. Such a huge force was almost uprooted. Mo Mingtian sent a message. It's very likely that the 6th Demon Lord invited those guys. Phoenix Witch said fiercely. The 6th Demon Lord? That guy is a scourge. If I don't kill him, I won't be a demon. Mystic Demon Mountain Lord clenched his fists. His whole body was surrounded by a murderous aura. He was filled with hatred. The thought of so many of his subordinates dying made him want to go crazy. Didn't Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers go after the 6th Demon Lord? With them, where can the 6th Demon Lord escape to? At this time, Blood Devil interrupted. You underestimate the 6th Demon Lord. The Phoenix Sparrow Demoness glanced at Blood Devil and said. I don't believe that the 6th Demon Lord has 3 heads and 6 arms. How could he escape from Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers? Blood Devil said disapprovingly. I just received news that the 6th Demon Lord escaped again. Phoenix Witch said. What? Blood Devil and Mystic Demon Mountain Lord were shocked. The 6th Demon Lord escaped even when Mo Mingtian and the Meng brothers joined hands. How could this be possible? However, Phoenix Witch didn't lie because there was no need for her to lie. Just as they were talking, Demonic Rock Emperor also arrived. Hey, why is it so lively? Demonic Rock Emperor was surprised to see Blood Devil, Mystic Demon Mountain Lord, and Phoenix Witch. These guys are all here to see Master. However, when he heard the snoring coming from the hall, he smiled. So these guys were standing outside the hall because they didn't dare to disturb Master. With Master's current cultivation, how could he fall asleep? Unbelievable. Demonic Rock Emperor shook his head and said with a puzzled expression. You little bird, what do you know? Master's cultivation is extraordinary. He has obviously reached the realm of returning to his natural state and doing as he pleases. Mystic Demon Mountain Lord said. In fact, This was also his guess because he had never heard of anyone who had reached the peak of the Demon Lord realm sleeping. In Mystic Demon Mountain Lord's opinion, Jiyu Fei wasn't a quasi-supreme, but a Demon Lord realm existence. At this time, Mystic Demon Mountain's Lord and the others were standing outside the main hall. No one dared to enter. One had to know that Mystic Demon Mountain had suffered a great defeat and was almost annihilated by the chaotic creatures. Their master was definitely not in a good mood. All of you, get in here. Chapter 32:48. Jiyu Fei woke up from his deep sleep. It had been a long time since he had slept so peacefully. He knew very well that only with absolute power would he be able to keep himself and the people he cared about safe. He thought of Yang Zhao Ziru, and Lin Shuer. Apart from Yang no one knew where the others were. If he couldn't protect the people he cared about, then even if he had invincible power, there would be no joy in life and he would become a walking corpse. Jiyu Fei didn't want to be a cold and heartless person. At this time, Mystic Demon Mountain Lord and the others who had been waiting outside for several hours walked in. Their footsteps were very light as they were afraid of startling Jiyu Fei. "You're back." Jiyu Fei's lazy voice sounded from the throne. Then, he slowly sat up and reclined on the soft and comfortable throne. He really liked the layer of fur on the throne. It was golden and bright, warm and soft. It was very comfortable whether he was sitting or lying down. At this time, Mystic Demon Mountain Lord stood below the throne and bowed to Jiyu Fei. "Master, this subordinate's life isn't meant to end. I'm back." While Mystic Demon Mountain Lord was speaking, the others didn't even dare to breathe loudly. "Indeed, your life isn't meant to end," Jiyu Fei said. "Alright, you don't need to be so nervous. I won't do anything to you. Just serve me well. You can leave now." Jiyu Fei waved his hand and said, "Yes, Master." Seeing that Jiyu Fei didn't blame him, Mystic Demon Mountain Lord immediately felt like he had been pardoned. He hurriedly bowed to Jiyu Fei and left the hall. "Tell me, why did you come to see me?" Jiyu Fei's voice was very calm and he sounded lazy. Blood Devil, Phoenix Witch, and Demonic Rock King couldn't help but look at each other. No one spoke. "What's wrong?" Jiyu Fei was lying on the throne. When his eyes opened and closed, a bright light shot out from the slits of his eyes. He glanced at the 3 demonic path powerhouses below the throne. Seeing this, Blood Devil took a step forward and said, "Master, the messengers from Golem and Demonic Willow have arrived." "Oh, really?" Jiyu Fei said nonchalantly. "They brought what you wanted." Blood Devil continued. "That kind of thing can also be brought here." Hearing this, Jiyu Fei opened his eyes and sat up. "Master, they've been waiting in the front hall for half a day. Do you want to summon them?" Blood Devil lowered his head and said carefully, "Just let them wait." Jiyu Fei said indifferently, "Yes." Blood Devil stood to the side. If his master didn't call him out, he wouldn't dare to leave. He could only stand there and wait, not daring to have any other thoughts. Everyone knew that Mystic Demon Mountain had suffered a great loss this time, but Jiyu Fei's attitude towards this loss was unpredictable. No one dared to make Jiyu Fei unhappy at this time. "What's the matter? Is there news from Mo Mingtian?" Jiyu Fei glanced at the Phoenix Sparrow Witch and said. He then lay back down and leaned against the soft backrest. "Master, Mo Mingtian sent news that the 6th Demon Lord has escaped again." Phoenix Witch didn't dare to look at Jiyu Fei and said in a low voice, "Escaped again? Then continue the chase. Tell them that if they don't come back with the head of the 6th Demon Lord, they don't need to come back." Jiyu Fei said. "Yes, Master." Phoenix Sparrow Demonis hurriedly said. "Alright, you can leave as well." Jiyu Fei waved his sleeve and said, "Yes." The Phoenix Sparrow Demonis hurriedly bowed and retreated. At this time, only Demonic Rock Emperor and Blood Devil were left under the throne in the main hall. "Have you checked the losses this time?" Jiyu Fei asked Demonic Rock Emperor. "Master, we've checked and calculated," Demonic Rock Emperor said with a heavy heart. The losses this time were too great, especially the fall of the 100,000 demon soldiers. They were the foundation of Mystic Demon Mountain. Luo Peng also died in battle, leaving less than 1,000 survivors. This was really hard to accept. However, Jiyu Fei didn't say anything after listening to Demonic Rock Emperor's report. Mystic Demon Mountain's strength had been greatly reduced. This was already something that couldn't be recovered. What they needed to do now was to increase their strength as soon as possible. Of course, in fact, Jiyu Fei still made a profit in destroying the Demon Palace this time because he obtained a small world and subdued the 3 war statues. The 3 war devils were comparable to the 100,000 fallen devil soldiers. One must know that the 3 war devils could all use the power of the extreme path and were extremely tyrannical. This was Jiyu Fei's confidence. "Alright, I got it. You guys can leave." Jiyu Fei waved his hand impatiently and said, "Yes, Master." Demonic Rock Emperor and Blood Devil hurriedly left. Only Jiyu Fei was left in the main hall. He pondered for a while and muttered to himself, "The Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan are so kind to actually lend me their transboundary array platform." At this time, a demonic figure descended from the sky and entered the ancient city. No one stopped her because no one could stop this person. Demonic Rock Lady had returned. She went straight to the City Lord Mansion and walked into the main hall. "You're very calm." Demonic Rock Lady was a little surprised to see Jiyu Fei lying on the throne. She didn't expect Jiyu Fei to be so relaxed. "Do I need to be nervous?" Jiyu Fei said disapprovingly. "Mph, you won't be able to stay calm in a while." Demonic Rock Lady snorted coldly. "Could it be that you've heard some rumors? Tell me about it." Jiyu Fei said. "You killed the 13 chaotic creatures. Those guys are coming to settle the score with you." Demonic Rock Lady said. "Is that so? I thought something earth-shattering happened." Jiyu Fei said lazily. He didn't seem to care about those chaotic creatures at all. "You're awesome." Demonic Rock Lady gave Jiyu Fei a thumbs up. As a matter of fact, even though Jiyu Fei didn't seem to take the chaos creatures seriously, he was actually a little nervous and expectant deep down. "Do you know where Kangqiu is?" Jiyu Fei asked. "How would I know?" Demonic Rock Lady shook her head. Boom. Just at this moment, a loud sound suddenly rang out from the sky. An extremely violent energy ripple spread out, shaking the heavens and earth. Even the City Lord Mansion was shaken. What happened? On the streets of the ancient city, countless cultivators were shocked. They quickly raised their heads and looked into the sky, only to see a gigantic demonic shadow appear in the sky. Demons. It's demons. Chapter 3249. Not long after Jiyu Fei returned to the ancient city, demons came to invade. Those fellows simply didn't know what was good for them. At that moment, an extremely powerful demonic figure appeared in the sky above the ancient city. The demonic might it exuded made the entire world feel as though it was about to explode. In an instant, all the cultivators in the ancient city, except for Jiyu Fei and Demon Rock Lady who were in the City Lord's mansion, were trembling and lying on the ground, terrified to the extreme. Even Monarch Demon Mountain Lord and the others were no exception. A cold snort came from the City Lord's mansion. Then, a mass of chaos divine light emerged from the City Lord's mansion and instantly enveloped the entire ancient city. In the next moment, all the cultivators in the ancient city felt their bodies lighten. The extremely powerful demonic might that descended from the sky instantly weakened to a bearable level. Demons. There are actually demons who dare to invade. All the cultivators in the ancient city were inexplicably shocked. One should know that Jiyu Fei was not in the ancient city when the 13 chaos creatures invaded the ancient city last time. That was why those fellows succeeded. But now, Jiyu Fei was personally guarding the ancient city. And yet, there were still demons invading. If the demons were not here to die, they must have the strength to fight against Jiyu Fei. HMPH, Jiyu Fei, do you dare to come out and fight? The terrifying demonic figure in the sky above the ancient city spoke. His voice spread out, causing pitch-black spatial cracks to appear in the void. Who the hell are you? Do you think you are worthy for me to fight? Jiyu Fei's voice came from the City Lord's mansion. There was a trace of disdain in his tone. Even the 13 chaos creatures were no match for him. Who the hell was this guy? Of course, The 13 chaos creatures were defeated by Kang Q. However, there was no difference between Kang Q and Jiyu Fei because Kang Q's combat power was on par with Jiyu Fei's. If Jiyu Fei were to use his extreme Dao sacred artifact, even Kang Q would not be a match for him. At this time, Kang Q was not around. Other than Jiyu Fei himself, only the magic rock lady had the strength to fight against the guy in the sky. It should be an old guy who is on good terms with the chaotic creatures. Demonic rock lady transmitted her voice to Jiyu Fei. The existence of primal chaos creatures in the primal chaos devil world was no secret to the super old-timers. Some of them even befriended primal chaos creatures. The creatures in the primal chaos demon world were not willing to be other people's chess pieces. In the eyes of the big shots, the primal chaos demon world was a chess game. There were not many creatures that were truly qualified to be chess pieces. Some creatures didn't want to be chess pieces, they wanted to jump out of the chessboard and become the master of the game. However, there were even fewer living beings who were truly qualified to dominate the chessboard. Ever since the Chaos Fiend realm was born, it had been under the control of the chaotic creatures. Therefore, the true masters of the Chaos realm were the chaotic creatures. But this time, Jiyu Fei, the foreign chess piece, was simply too heaven-defying. He had actually killed the life form that was the ruler of the chessboard. In the eyes of the old-timers of the primal chaos devil world, this was absolutely heaven-shattering. H, how dare you look down on me? As the demonic figure in the sky spoke, a demonic hand reached down from the sky towards the ancient city below. An extreme demonic mark appeared on the palm of the demonic hand. Buzz. The void trembled as a terrifying devouring power surged out of the demonic hand. The void in front of the hand collapsed and was devoured by the black hole. The primal chaos barrier that covered the entire ancient city started to shake. Strands of primal chaos essence leaked out and were devoured by the black hole in the demonic hand. Oh, this guy seems to have some ability. Jiyu Fei's voice came from the city lord's mansion. Are you going to play around this time? Or am I going to do it? Demonic rock lady's voice also came from the city lord's mansion. It's been a long time since I've exercised my root bone. I'll do it this time. Jiyu Fei's lazy voice came from the city lord's mansion. In the next moment, two figures appeared in the sky above the city lord's mansion. They were Jiyu Fei and demonic rock lady. Rumble, at this moment, the demonic hand that came down from the sky was about to grab the primal chaos barrier that covered the ancient city. The primal chaos barrier shook violently as if it could collapse at any time. Jiyu Fei flipped his right hand and an ancient cauldron the size of a fist appeared in his hand. In the next moment, he threw the ancient cauldron at the demonic hand that came down from the sky. Seeing this, the demonic rock lady was dumbfounded. This guy had actually thrown a supreme Dao artifact out. The ancient cauldron that was the size of a fist pierced through the primal chaos barrier in the sky and smashed against the demonic hand. The tiny ancient cauldron was negligible in front of the mountain-like demonic hand. Even the demonic cultivator did not seem to understand why this fellow had thrown out such a seemingly powerless object. However, in the next moment, the demonic cultivator was unlucky. The ancient cauldron smashed into the pitch-black vortex that emerged from the demonic hand. The pitch-black vortex could not devour the ancient cauldron at all. The ancient cauldron passed through the vortex and smashed against the demonic pattern that emerged from the demonic hand's palm. Catcher. Cracks began to appear on the ancient demonic rune. What? The demonic hand in the sky shook violently. The terrifying vortex that seemed like it could devour the heavens and the earth dissipated. In the next moment, the entire demonic hand suddenly exploded with a bang. Boundless demonic chi enveloped the entire sky. A drop of demonic blood fell from the sky and splashed on the primal chaos divine light above the ancient city. In the next moment, the drop of demonic blood corroded a small hole in the primal chaos divine light. The demonic blood dripped onto the ancient city below. Extreme Dao demonic blood. Demonic rock lady's eyes lit up at the sight of the demonic blood. She rushed up and reached out to take the demonic blood. How is this possible? An enraged voice came down from the sky. In the midst of the monstrous devil chi, two spots of blood-red light appeared. The terrifying devil might spread out, and the void above the sky exploded unceasingly, becoming extremely unstable. The location of such a powerful cultivator was enough to affect the laws of heaven and earth. The great demon that had yet to show up was definitely an extreme Tao existence. Of course, it was hard to say if it was a real extreme Tao demonic ancestor. At this moment, the ancient cauldron that Ji Yu Fei threw out flew back and was caught in his hand. An extreme Tao weapon. Chapter 3250. The old demons attacked with the power of the extreme Tao. Only Ji Yu Fei and the demonic rock lady could fight against such an existence. At this time, the entire sky above the ancient city was completely shrouded by rolling demonic chi. It was as if the night had suddenly fallen. The cultivators in the city were extremely terrified. The aura of the extreme Tao spread out in the sky. Not to mention the ancient city, even the living creatures in the entire region felt as if doomsday had arrived. Even though the Great City Defense Formation isolated the extreme Tao demonic might from the sky, all the cultivators in the ancient city still felt their souls tremble. Swoosh! Ji Yu Fei no longer hesitated. He held the ancient cauldron in his hand and soared into the sky. He directly passed through the layer of chaotic light shroud that enveloped the entire ancient city and arrived outside. Rumble! A shocking might immediately spread out from Ji Yu Fei's body. The rolling demonic chi around him was immediately dispersed by this powerful aura. In just an instant, not a trace of demonic chi could be seen within 10,000 feet of Ji Yu Fei. You have guts. An old voice sounded. In the demonic chi, a terrifying demonic shadow appeared faintly. 2 spots of blood-red light flickered and the extreme Tao demonic might erupted. The entire void exploded continuously as if it was returning to chaos. Haha, this is really funny. If I don't have guts, then do you? Ji Yu Fei laughed and said. He stared at the demonic shadow, his battle intent surging. It was naturally worth it for him to fight against an expert of this level. You are only a demon ancestor. You little ant, how dare you act presumptuously in front of me? Are you relying on that cauldron in your hand? The great demon hidden in the demonic chi said angrily. A terrifying murderous aura erupted from the demonic shadow. The great demon was obviously angered by Ji Yu Fei. In the great demon's opinion, Ji Yu Fei was only a demon ancestor. To him, Ji Yu Fei was really not much stronger than an ant. However, it was this ant who had used a cauldron to break his extreme demonic claw. At this moment, the crack on his right hand had yet to heal. At that moment, all the cultivators in the ancient city raised their heads to look at the figure high up in the sky. Demonic rock lady didn't come out. She directly sat cross-legged in the sky above the ancient city and refined the drop of extreme demon blood. Rays of blood-red light rushed out from her hands and entered her body. It was an extremely pure extreme demon power. Although it was only a drop of extreme demonic blood, the demonic energy contained within it was enormous. After refining this drop of extreme demonic blood, the demonic rock lady's cultivation base would increase by quite a bit. This drop of extreme demonic blood was extremely rare. Even an existence like the demonic rock lady did not have much extreme demonic blood in her body. High up in the sky, the great demon lost a drop of extreme demon blood, but it was extremely painful. This was because every drop of extreme demon blood lost meant one less drop. For existences like Demon Rock Lady and Kang Q, their cultivation levels had already fallen from the extreme grade realm, so it was impossible for their bodies to continue producing extreme grade blood essence. Unless they returned to their peak and became an extreme powerhouse. You really talk a lot of nonsense. If you don't want to fight, then scram. Ji Yu Fei said impatiently. Very well. Since you want to die early, I'll grant your wish. The demonic figure in the demonic chi said. In the next moment, a demonic light directly slashed out from the demonic chi, slashing towards Ji Yu Fei's head. The incomparably sharp demonic light directly broke through the void and instantly fell down. Ji Yu Fei directly raised the ancient cauldron in his hand. When the demonic light slashed against the ancient cauldron, there was a sound of metal colliding, and the ancient cauldron directly shattered in the void. HMPH, Extreme Tao Treasure. An old voice resounded. Then, a huge hand directly grabbed towards Ji Yu Fei, wanting to snatch the ancient cauldron in his hand. Ji Fei laughed loudly. The ancient cauldron in his hand vibrated slightly, and a ripple immediately spread out from the ancient cauldron. Wherever the spatial ripple passed, the demonic claw directly dissipated in the void. The demonic patterns were also directly obliterated. At the same time, the ancient cauldron in Ji Fei's hand vibrated. Then, a primordial chaos sword light rushed out from the ancient cauldron, directly piercing towards the demonic figure in the demonic chi. This was a sword light formed from primordial chaos force. It possessed unfathomable power, and its speed was also extremely fast. In an instant, the sword light broke through the layers of demonic light and pierced towards the demonic figure. The demonic chi around the demonic figure was dispersed, and an extremely ferocious demon appeared. Seeing this demon, Ji Fei was shocked. This was because this demon had a humanoid body, but it had an octopus-like head, with countless tentacles waving around its neck. In the next moment, the demon disappeared. The primordial chaos sword light directly pierced through the demon's remnant shadow. Swoosh! At this moment, a tentacle broke through the void, directly wrapping around Ji Fei. The tentacle was filled with suckers, and each sucker was densely packed with sharp thorns. It would definitely be an extremely terrifying thing to be entangled by a tentacle. Naturally, Ji Fei did not want to be entangled by such a tentacle. He executed the 8 steps extreme speed and took a step forward, instantly disappearing on the spot. The tentacle missed its target. At the same time, 9 primordial chaos sword lights rushed out from the ancient cauldron in Ji Fei's hand, directly piercing through the void. In the next moment, a furious roar rang out. The great demon hidden in the void was actually forced out by the primordial chaos sword lights. With a flash of the sword light, the great demon's arm fell off. This was the power of the mountain and river cauldron in Ji Fei's hand. Being struck by the primordial chaos sword lights was like being struck by an extreme Tao sovereign. The consequences were very severe. The great demon roared again and again. It wasn't as simple as just having an arm chopped off. The primordial chaos sword lights contained a terrifying power of destruction that invaded its body. In just an instant, a small half of the great demon's body turned into ashes, drifting away in the void. The great demon was extremely frightened. He possessed the extreme Tao strength and extreme Tao devil physique, yet he still suffered such a heavy injury. He had no choice but to cut off half of his body and retreat in an extremely sorry state. But at this moment, the other primordial chaos sword lights had already broken through the void, piercing towards the great demon. This sword light was very terrifying. Even someone with the extreme Tao devil physique would find it difficult to fight against this sword light, because it was formed from the primordial chaos sword lights. Chapter 3251. The origin of the mountain and river cauldron was extremely secretive. Since ancient times, no one knew who refined this extreme Tao artifact. However, the mountain and river cauldron was one of the most powerful extreme Tao artifacts in history. Ji Fei held the mountain and river cauldron in his hand. He directly fought against the great demon that had the power of the extreme Tao. A primal chaos sword light rushed out from the mountain and river cauldron and cut off one of the great demon's arms. However, a terrifying destructive power was corroding the great demon's extreme Tao demonic body. In just a few breaths of time, half of the great demon's body was reduced to ashes. And this trend was still spreading. Roar! The great demon was roaring and roaring. He gritted his teeth. He actually waved his hand. He cut off half of his body. The flesh, blood, tendons, and bones that he chopped off instantly turned into ashes. It disappeared into the void. Damn it! The great demon was shocked and furious. He was afraid. Just now, he felt the aura of death. It had been a long time since he felt the threat of death. He had almost forgotten about this feeling. Shua! 9 primal chaos sword lights flashed in the void. They broke through the layers of demonic chi. They pierced through the great demon. They were extremely fast. At this moment, the great demon was going all out. He actually used the blood transformation escape technique to burn his own demonic blood. to release the strongest power of the demonic Tao. And then he obtained extreme speed. The great demon turned into a bloodlight. He directly broke through the void. He wanted to escape into the primal chaos. Behind the void was the primal chaos. Tearing through the void, he would be able to enter the endless primal chaos. However, Jiu Fei wouldn't let him escape so easily. Kill! Jiu Fei roared. He directly activated the power of the mountain and river cauldron. The speed of the 9 primal chaos sword lights instantly increased by a lot. In an instant, he caught up to the great demon. Roar! The great devil only had time to let out an incomparably terrified roar. 9 streaks of primordial chaos sword light pierced through its body. Then, he turned back. The great demon was turned into a pile of ashes. It was a pity that this great devil didn't even have the chance to escape before he died. After the 9 primordial chaos sword lights killed the great demon, then, he soared into the sky. It immediately dispersed the endless demonic aura that shrouded the sky. Seeing this scene, all the cultivators in the ancient city were shocked. Especially the 2 envoys from the Stone Demon clan and the Willow Demon clan. Jiu Fei ignored them. He never summoned them. These 2 fellows were already filled with anger. He almost lost control of his temper. But now, when they saw Jiu Fei easily kill a great demon with extreme Tao power, they were shocked. He broke out in a cold sweat. All the anger in his stomach disappeared. This guy is too fierce. No wonder even Lord Clan Leader doesn't want to provoke this guy. The envoy from the Stone Demon clan said with a trembling voice. Now, the Stone Demon clan didn't want to clash with Jiu Fei anymore. Of course. This was only temporary. As the primitive demons, the Stone Demon clan naturally didn't fear Jiu Fei. The same went for the Willow Demon clan. They were very wary of Jiu Fei. But if they were forced into a corner, if they had a life and death struggle with Jiu Fei would probably have a headache too. The Stone Demon clan and the Willow Demon clan both wanted to preserve their strength. They didn't want to start a war with the lunatic Jiu Fei. At this moment, the demonic aura that shrouded the sky was dispersed. 9 primordial chaos sword lights descended from the sky. They directly fell into the mountain and river cauldron in Jiu Fei's hand. This extreme Tao artifact is very terrifying. The powerhouses of the Willow Demon clan looked at the scene in the sky. They couldn't help but feel extremely terrified. It was fear that came from the depths of their souls. At this moment, waves of cheers came from the ancient city. The invading great demon was killed by Jiu Fei. This greatly boosted the morale of the cultivators of the mystic demon mountain. They had been too aggrieved during this period of time. They were caught off guard by the chaotic creatures. They were hiding here and there like stray dogs. They lived a life where they could be killed at any time. They were on tenterhooks. Now, all the cultivators in the ancient city felt that the haze that shrouded their hearts had finally dissipated. The return of Jiu Fei. It gave them hope of survival. Master's cultivation seems to have improved again. The mystic demon mountain lord and the others looked up at the figure in the sky. They were also extremely shocked. However, he was very clear. The ancient cauldron in the hands of his master. It was the key to victory. You dare to provoke me with only this level of strength. It's like holding a lamp in the toilet. You're courting death. Jiu Fei said disdainfully. Yes. He suddenly felt something. He turned around and looked into the distance. The martial path heavenly eye was activated. He saw a shadow disappear at the end of the distant sky. That is, Jiu Fei's heart trembled. There was actually someone hiding in the side. He didn't even notice. When that guy was about to leave, he sensed it. Except for Jiu Fei. Even the magic rock girl didn't sense the existence of that mysterious guy. This caused Jiu Fei to be shocked once again. Could it be that that guy was actually stronger than the magic rock girl? That seemed impossible. Because there was an existence stronger than the magic rock girl. Only the extreme Tao sovereign. Who cares who he is? He dared to provoke me. I'll just kill him. Ji Fei looked in the direction where that person disappeared. He muttered to himself. What are you talking about? At this moment, the magic rock girl had already refined that drop of extreme Dao demon blood. The aura coming out of her body was even stronger. Her life force seemed to be much stronger. I didn't say anything. Ji Fei shook his head and said, what a pity. That guy was directly killed by you and turned into ashes. There should be at least a dozen drops of extreme Dao demon blood in that guy's body. It's such a waste. Demonic Rock Lady said with a look of pity. That guy only has a dozen drops of extreme demonic blood on him. Ji Fei was surprised to hear that. In his opinion, that great demon had the extreme Dao devil body. Wasn't the blood that flowed within the body of the extreme path devil physique? What's with that expression? That fellow was not a real extreme Dao demon ancestor. The extreme demon body can no longer produce extreme demon blood. Demonic Rock Lady said. There's actually such a thing. Ji Fei looked at Magic Rock Lady in shock. This was the first time he had heard of such a thing. After the extreme grade demon ancestor fell from the extreme grade realm. Even if he had the extreme demon body, it was also difficult for his body to produce extreme demonic blood. This was a great secret that only extreme Dao supreme beings knew. Sure enough, there was something wrong with the bodies of those former extreme grade supremes. You offended those guys. I'm afraid there won't be a day of peace anymore. Demonic Rock Lady said. Now, she was in the same boat as Ji Fei. Ji Fei was in trouble. That meant she was in trouble. What a headache. TSK. If those guys dare to come, then I'll kill one if they come. Two if they come. I'll kill a pair. Ji Fei said nonchalantly. You're awesome. Magic Rock Lady gave Ji Fei a thumbs up. At this moment, a figure appeared in the void without any warning. A powerful aura of the divine Dao radiated from the figure. This guy, Magic Rock Lady saw this person. He furrowed his brows. This person was Kang Q. Kang Q had left for more than 10 days. He was finally back. But the Golden Goddess and the others were nowhere to be seen. She wondered if Kang Q had found them. Did I miss any good show? Kang Q looked at Ji Fei and Magic Rock Lady. He could sense the extreme grade aura in the void that had not completely dissipated. It seemed that when he was not around, an enemy had come. And the guy's cultivation was not lower than his. Haha. You missed a good show. Magic Rock Lady laughed. All right. Let's go down. Ji Fei said and flew down from the sky. He returned to the ancient city. Then he entered the main hall of the city lord's mansion. He sat on the throne. Kang Q and Magic Rock Lady followed. They casually sat on the seats in the main hall. Did you find them? Ji Fei looked at Kang Q and said. Yes. Kang Q nodded. Why didn't they come back? Ji Fei asked. They still have some things to deal with. They'll come back when they're done. Kang Q answered. Is that so? Those guys from the Stone Demon Clan and Willow Demon Clan have sent their envoys here. Ji Fei reclined on the throne. He looked at Kang Q and said. Is that so? They agreed. Kang Q heard this. His eyes lit up. Hee hee. I haven't summoned those two guys yet. I'll leave them aside for now. I'll summon them when I'm free. Ji Fei said. This, Kang Q wasn't as calm as Ji Fei. One had to know. He had left the ancestral god realm for a long time. He wanted to go back all the time. Now he had a chance. He naturally didn't want to miss it. I know you want to go back to your hometown. Ji Fei said. Then, he sent a voice transmission to Blood Devil who was standing outside the main hall. Blood Devil then turned and left. Soon, he brought 2 cultivators to the main hall of the City Lord's mansion. At this moment, there were already many people standing outside the main hall. Ji Fei had killed the invading demon. Mountain Lord Mystic Demon and the others naturally wanted to know more about it. However, they didn't receive Ji Fei's summons. They didn't dare to enter the main hall. They could only wait outside the main hall. At this moment, Blood Devil brought the 2 cultivators with him. They walked into the main hall. They came under the throne. Master. These two are the envoys of the Stone Demon Clan and Willow Demon Clan. Blood Devil bowed and said to Ji Fei on the throne. Yes. Ji Fei nodded. Then he looked at the two envoys below. Greetings, Lord Ji Fei. The envoys of the Stone Demon Clan and Willow Demon Clan hurriedly bowed to Ji Fei. In front of this fierce person. They didn't dare to be presumptuous. One had to know. They saw with their own eyes that Ji Fei killed the demon with extreme power. Even their clan lord would not dare to slight a Devil Dao powerhouse of that level. However, Ji Fei had killed such a peerless powerhouse. You won't disappoint me, right? Chapter 3252. The emissaries of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan arrived at the ancient city at the same time, but they were ignored by Ji Fei for an entire day. This made the two emissaries very unhappy and they almost lost their temper. However, when they saw that Ji Fei had easily slain a being that was as powerful as their clan leader, all their dissatisfaction and anger disappeared. At this moment, the two emissaries stood below Ji Fei's throne in trepidation and did not dare to raise their heads at all. I heard that both of you have brought the item. Ji Fei said disdainfully as he reclined on the throne. These two fellows were originally arrogant, but now, they were trembling under his feet like ants. The so-called primitive demons were also creatures that bullied the kind and feared the evil. As long as one's fist was harder than theirs, one could beat them into submission. Well, Lord Ji Fei, my master wants to use that item to exchange for another of our clan's treasures. The emissary of the Stone Demon Clan said in fear. What? You want to exchange for that bead? Ji Fei said in surprise. However, after giving it some thought, he realized that it was reasonable. How could the Stone Demon Clan hand over a formation platform that could allow them to travel between realms so easily? Such a formation platform could only be refined by an extreme supreme demon ancestor. Therefore, there would be one less such formation platform if it was destroyed. Even the primitive demons, the Stone Demon Clan, and the Willow Demon Clan did not have many of such formation platforms. Yes, we want to exchange for our clan's treasures. The emissary of the Stone Demon Clan sounded very determined. If I say no, are you not going to give me the item I want? Ji Fei looked down at the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan who was below the throne expressionlessly. Upon hearing Ji Fei's words, the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan's forehead immediately broke out in cold sweat. What about you? Don't tell me you want to exchange for that willow branch too? Ji Fei looked at the emissary of the Willow Demon Clan who was standing beside the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan. Haha, Lord Ji Fei truly lives up to his reputation. To be able to predict the future, I am truly impressed. The emissary of the Willow Devil Clan laughed as he braced himself and said. The emissary of the Willow Devil Clan was a black-robed old man. At this time, this expert of the Willow Devil Clan was sweating profusely. However, he didn't dare to wipe it off with his hand. He still had to force a smile on his face as he spoke to Ji Fei. "Mph, you dare to speak to my master in such a manner? Are you courting death?" Blood Devil glanced at Ji Fei and scolded. I don't dare to. The emissary of the Willow Devil Clan panicked. One had to know that if the other party wanted to kill him, a single finger of his would be enough to crush him to death countless times. Blood Devil wanted to say more, but Ji Fei waved his hand. Take out the things you brought. Ji Fei lazily reclined on the throne and looked down at the two fellows below the throne. Lord Ji Fei, does this mean that you've agreed to it? Upon hearing Ji Fei's words, the emissaries of the Willow Devil Clan and Stone Devil Clan couldn't help but be surprised and overjoyed. If they could complete the mission smoothly, their clan leader would definitely reward them handsomely upon their return. However, would things really be that simple? I haven't even inspected the goods yet. Do you think I'll agree to it? Ji Fei said calmly as he looked at the two fellows who were like ants. In his opinion, these two fellows were no different from ants. They weren't primitive demons. All right. The emissary of the Stone Devil Clan took out a fist-sized formation platform and held it in his hand. It was a pitch-black formation platform that emitted an ancient and vicissitude aura. Ji Yufei's eyes lit up when he saw the formation platform in the hands of the Stone Devil clan's emissary. An ancient object like this couldn't be faked. It must have existed for countless years. At this time, Blood Devil was also staring at the small formation platform in the hands of the Stone Devil clan's emissary. Swoosh! With a wave of his hand, the formation platform in the hands of the Stone Devil clan's emissary immediately flew towards Ji Yufei and landed in his hands. The emissary of the Stone Devil clan wasn't afraid that Ji Yufei would snatch the formation platform away. What a cunning fellow! The moment the formation platform landed in Ji Yufei's hands, he sensed that there was something strange about it. That old fart of the Stone Devil clan actually dared to play this trick on us. Kang Q, who had been watching quietly, suddenly spoke. He had also noticed the strangeness of the formation platform in Ji Yufei's hands and couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. The Demon Rock Lady didn't say anything, but her eyes narrowed into a line and rays of light leaked out from the gaps of her eyes. It wasn't a secret that Ji Yufei wanted to cross over to the ancestral god realm because he wanted to find a way back to the human realm. However, the human realm was only a legend in the Chaos Demon realm, an incomparably ancient legend. In fact, if Ji Yufei wanted to return to the human realm, there was a direct way. However, the Demon Rock Lady didn't tell Ji Yufei about it. Of course, there might be a way to return to the human realm in the ancestral god realm. At this time, the emissary of the Willow Demon clan took out a formation platform that he had brought with him. It was a wooden formation platform, which surprised Ji Yufei. Ji Yufei sensed a vague aura of a supreme devil ancestor from the wooden formation platform. Could this formation platform be refined from a section of the primogenitor demon Willow? The Demon Rock Lady stared at the wooden formation platform in the hands of the emissary of the Willow Demon clan and said in astonishment. It should be known that the wooden formation platform was preserved until now and didn't decay. Naturally, it had the power of immortality on it. Ji Yufei also waved his hand and took the wooden formation platform in the hands of the emissary of the Willow Demon clan. Then, he took a closer look at it. The wooden formation platform was also the size of a fist. It seemed to be refined from a whole piece of wood. The demonic runes on it seemed to be naturally formed, faintly discernible inside the wood. Ji Yufei was really curious. Although the formation platform was made of wood, it seemed to be heavier than the formation platform of the Stone Demon clan in his hands. "Let me see," the Demon Rock Lady said. Ji Yufei directly threw the wooden formation platform in his hands to the Demon Rock Lady. After receiving it, the Demon Rock Lady also took a closer look. She was once a supreme being. In her eyes, this wooden formation platform was different from the others. She cast her gaze directly into the interior of the wooden array platform. Countless demonic inscriptions were intertwined within the wooden array platform, layer upon layer. It was hard to imagine that so many demonic inscriptions had been refined into the interior of this wooden array platform. This is Chapter 3253. The fact that there was a demonic figure inside the wooden platform shocked the Demonic Rock Lady to no end. One should know that this was a supreme Dao-level platform. If there was a demonic figure sitting inside, it would most likely be a supreme Dao-level existence. "What's wrong? Did you see a ghost?" Kang Q couldn't help but tease the Demonic Rock Lady when he saw her shocked expression. "Wasn't it just a wooden platform? What was there to fuss about? How is this possible?" The Magic Rock Lady ignored Kang Q and her expression became even more solemn. At this moment, a ball of demonic light appeared between her eyebrows and a powerful spiritual will surged out from the ball of demonic light and directly rushed into the wooden array platform. "What?" The messenger from the Willow Demon clan was shocked. He wanted to stop the Demonic Rock Lady, but he couldn't do so. He was no match for the Demonic Rock Lady. Buzz! At this moment, the fist-sized wooden platform vibrated. Countless demonic runes inside the platform began to emit demonic light. The demonic formation inside the platform was activated. In the next moment, the wooden platform flew up from the Demonic Rock Lady's hand. In an instant, it grew to the size of a small mountain. Streams of demonic energy rushed out from the platform and lingered around the platform. Boom! The main hall of the city lord's mansion was directly smashed through by the wooden platform. Countless broken bricks and tiles fell from the top. Ji Yufei waved his hand. The bricks and tiles that fell from the sky immediately turned into ashes and drifted away in the void. At this moment, a powerful demonic aura erupted from the platform. This was a supreme Dao-level demonic rune. However, it was weakened to its weakest state by the countless layers of demonic formations on the wooden platform. Otherwise, no one would be able to withstand the pressure emitted from the wooden platform. This kind of transboundary array platform was not specially refined for extreme Dao supreme beings to use. If the extreme Dao demonic might on the array platform was too powerful and no one could withstand it, then who would dare to use this kind of array platform? At this moment, the wooden platform emitted a dazzling demonic light. Amidst the endless formation runes, a demonic figure was faintly discernible. "You bastards actually dare to play tricks in front of me." Ji Yufei was enraged. An incomparably powerful aura immediately erupted from his body as he glared at the two fellows below the throne. As Ji Yufei's aura spread out, the two envoys standing in front of the throne immediately fell to the ground, trembling in fear. At this moment, the two envoys were terrified to the extreme. They felt as though an immemorial devil mountain was pressing down on their bodies, so much so that they couldn't even straighten their backs. Too terrifying. At this moment, the souls of the two envoys were trembling, as though they were facing an unparalleled existence. Lord Ji Yufei, you, the emissary of the Golem clan, lay on the ground, trembling uncontrollably. "What do you think? You guys actually dared to tamper with the platform." Ji Yufei said coldly as he looked down at the emissary of the Golem clan, who was sprawled on the ground in front of his throne. The aura around his body grew even stronger. "Lord Ji Yufei, I'm only a lowly emissary. How would I dare to play tricks in front of you?" The emissary of the Golem clan hurriedly explained. Of course, he also knew that the clan leader had tampered with the platform. The Golem clan was unwilling to just hand the platform over to Ji Yufei. However, at this moment, neither the emissary of the Golem clan nor the emissary of the Willow Demon clan dared to admit that someone had tampered with the platform. If Ji Yufei were to kill them in a fit of rage, then their deaths would be too unjust. They could only feign ignorance. "At least you know your limits. I understand that you don't have the ability to do so," Ji Yufei said. Boom. At this moment, the power of the demonic rock lady's soul erupted. The void was annihilated as a supreme power of the soul instantly turned into a blade of light, slashing into the wooden platform. The demonic figure that was sitting cross-legged inside the platform immediately dissipated, destroyed by the blade of light that flashed past. Just as the demonic rock lady slashed the demonic figure inside the platform, a demonic figure that was sitting cross-legged on top of a mountain in the depths of the Golem clan's ancestral grounds suddenly swayed and almost fell off the mountain. Blood seeped out from the center of his brows. "He actually killed one of my clones. Looks like this Ji Yufei really can't be underestimated." An ancient voice rang out. The demonic figure that was sitting cross-legged on top of the mountain was actually an old man dressed in black. This old man was so old that his hair and teeth were almost all gone, but his body was still very robust. Rumble. At this moment, the wooden platform vibrated and rapidly shrunk to the size of a fist. It floated in the void, and countless demonic runes immediately disappeared into the wooden platform. "I've helped you eliminate the hidden danger. How are you going to thank me?" The demonic rock lady smiled at Xiao Chen. "Then how do you want me to thank you?" Ji Yufei looked at the demonic rock lady and said with a faint smile. "How about returning what belongs to me to me?" The demonic rock lady teased. "Haha, it's not that I can't return it to you, but you just have to promise me one thing." Ji Yufei looked at the demonic rock lady and said with a smile. The demonic rock lady did not say anything, because she knew that what Ji Yufei wanted to say was definitely not that easy to fulfill. She would not fall for Ji Yufei's trick. One had to know that at their level of cultivation, they would not easily make a promise. Once a promise was made, there was no going back on it. At this moment, Ji Yufei and the others seemed to have forgotten about the two so-called emissaries who were lying on the ground trembling in fear. Ji Yufei extended his hand, and the wooden platform that was floating in the void immediately flew towards Jiu Fei and was grabbed by him. There's also this one. I'll have to trouble you to get rid of the clone on it as well. As he spoke, Jiu Fei handed the platform of the Willow Devil clan to the demonic rock lady. At this time, the emissary of the Willow Devil clan shuddered. He was so scared that he almost pissed his pants. He was originally rejoicing because Jiu Fei didn't know the secret of the platform, but now it seemed that the patriarch's tricks couldn't be hidden from this ferocious man. What about this one? The expert of the Willow Devil clan had completely lost his composure. His forehead was covered with sweat and he was extremely anxious. All right. At this moment, the demonic rock lady directly took the other platform. She still used the power of her primordial spirit to cut off the clone hidden inside the platform, and then returned the platform to Jiu Fei. Let's find a place to test if these two platforms can really send people to the ancestral god realm. Jiu Fei looked at the two platforms in his hands and said in a low voice. Chapter 3254. Jiu Fei finally got what he wanted after obtaining the transboundary array platforms of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan. He could finally go to the ancestral god realm. However, it was still unknown whether these two transboundary formation platforms could really send people to the ancestral god realm. Therefore, Jiu Fei wanted to test the two transboundary formation platforms. At this time, the experts of the demons waiting outside the hall were extremely shocked because they just saw a wooden platform break through the roof of the hall. An aura of the extreme Dao realm spread out from the hall. Of course, this aura had become very weak, but even so, it still gave them a great pressure. What happened inside? Mysterious Demon Mountain Lord and the others were very curious, but no one dared to disobey the summons and directly enter the hall. Lord Jiu Fei, our ancestral artifact, inside the hall, when the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan saw that Jiu Fei was about to leave the hall, he could only bite the bullet and ask Jiu Fei for the ancestral artifact that was stolen by Jiu Fei. You still dare to speak? Jiu Fei coldly stared at the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan who was trembling on the ground and said coldly, "You dared to tamper with the platform and plot against my master. My master is already being very merciful by not killing you. You still dare to ask for the ancestral artifact?" Blood Devil pointed at the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan and shouted. The emissaries of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan were scared out of their wits. If Jiu Fei used this as an excuse to kill them, they would die in vain. At this time, they already hated the guys who proposed to tamper with the platform. Get lost. Jiu Fei waved his big sleeve, and a strong wind immediately swept out from the throne. The two guys on the ground were directly swept up and sent flying out of the hall. Outside the hall, Mysterious Demon Mountain Lord, Demon Rock Emperor, and the others were extremely shocked. In the blink of an eye, the two guys screamed miserably as they were swept away by the strong wind. These two miserable fellows. In the main hall, Blood Devil stared at this scene with his mouth agape. The emissaries of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan didn't know where they had been sent to with a wave of Jiu Fei's sleeve. They fell from the sky like meteorites, crashing into a primitive mountain ridge. In the depths of the primordial mountain ridge, two clouds of dust immediately rose up. Half a day later, the emissaries of the Stone Devil Clan and the Willow Devil Clan crawled out of their respective pits. Their faces were covered in dirt, and they looked extremely miserable. Roar. Jiu Fei, I'm not done with you. The emissary of the Stone Devil Clan roared into the sky. He was enraged and seemed to be on the verge of insanity. He gnashed his teeth with an incomparably hideous expression. Preposterous. That guy actually dared to treat us like this. At the edge of another pit, the envoy of the Willow Devil Clan said with a gloomy face. I want him to regret what he did today. After saying that, the emissary of the Stone Demon Clan soared into the sky and disappeared. Jiu Fei, let's wait and see. The envoy of the Willow Demon Clan also soared into the sky and directly left this place to report back. Of course, he could only return empty-handed. Originally, the emissaries of the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan wanted to use the transboundary formation platform to exchange for the ancestral weapons that Jiu Fei had snatched away. However, In the end, it was all for naught. The result of returning empty-handed was naturally not a good one, but they would absolutely not let Jiyu Fei have an easy time. The foundation of the primitive demons was unimaginable to outsiders. At this time, Jiyu Fei left the ancient city and brought a group of subordinates, Kang Qiu, and the Demon Rock Lady to a mountain 1,000 miles away from the ancient city. They climbed to the top of the mountain, and Jiyu Fei took out the 2 transboundary formation platforms. With Kang Qiu and the Demon Rock Lady watching from the side, no one could snatch the 2 platforms from his hands. The 2 platforms were not very large, but the space on the platforms was different. The transboundary formation platform refined by an existence at the extreme grade supremacy level was not that simple. There were fluctuations of the law of space above the platform, and the void above the platform seemed to be able to contain a large world. At this time, the demonic patterns on the Stone Demon Clan's platform were faintly discernible, and the aura of the extreme grade was vast and mighty. However, this aura had been refined and would not cause any harm to creatures below the extreme grade. However, the creatures around the platform could still feel an incomparably strong pressure. This kind of spiritual suppression was unavoidable. Because they felt the aura of the extreme grade, all the creatures instinctively felt fear in the depths of their hearts. Who wants to go up and take a look? Jiyu Fei turned around and said to the experts of the demons behind him. His eyes swept across everyone's face, including the mysterious demon mountain lord, the blood devil, the demon rock emperor, the phoenix demon girl, and so on. Me. The blood devil walked out. Jiyu Fei was not surprised to see that it was the blood devil. This guy wanted to make a contribution, so he was eager to be the first to show off. It's not appropriate for you to go. The mysterious demon mountain lord spoke before Jiyu Fei could speak. What? What do you mean by that? The blood devil looked at the mysterious demon mountain lord with a displeased expression. I want to perform well in front of Master, but you came out and ruined my good time. Nothing. Master wants to go to the ancestral god realm. That's the territory of the celestial race. Don't forget that we are demons. The mysterious demon mountain lord said indifferently. The blood devil was startled when he heard the mysterious demon mountain lord's words. He instantly understood what the mysterious demon mountain lord meant. It was definitely not a good thing for demons to enter the territory of the celestial race. Moreover, this platform had not been used for a long time. He also did not know whether the platform in the ancestral god realm could still be used or whether it had been destroyed by the experts of the celestial race. All of this was unknown. Thinking of this, the blood devil's forehead was immediately covered with a layer of fine sweat. It was cold sweat. Blood devil, very good. I choose you. Jiyu Fei stepped forward and patted the blood devil's shoulder. Master, the blood devil looked at Jiyu Fei with a bitter face. At this moment, his intestines were green with regret. What? You want to go back on your words? Jiyu Fei looked at the blood devil and said in a deep voice. No, it's my honor to be able to do things for Master. The blood devil said with a forced smile. In the eyes of others, his smile was uglier than crying. He was already riding a tiger and could not back down. He had no choice but to go. All right, go. Jiyu Fei patted the blood devil's shoulder and said. Yes, Master. The blood devil took heavy steps towards the transrealm platform in front of him. Then, he climbed up the platform step by step. Everyone was looking at the blood devil. Everyone's attention was on the blood devil. They were all very nervous. One should know that if this matter was successful, Jiyu Fei and the others would be able to freely travel between the Chaos Demon Realm and the Ancestral God Realm. It was very significant. Even Jiyu Fei, Kang Qiu, and the Demonic Rock Lady were a little nervous. In fact, the Demonic Rock Lady had refined a few of these transrealm teleportation formations before. However, due to various reasons, the transrealm teleportation formations she refined were already damaged. This was also the reason why there were no transrealm teleportation formations in the ancestral land of the Demonic Rock Lady. The Demonic Rock Lady saw that the Blood Devil had already walked up to the platform. She directly used a technique to activate the super platform. Demonic runes emerged from the platform and gave off a dazzling demonic light. Rumble, the demonic runes rushed out from the platform and rotated around it, forming a demonic diagram. An extremely powerful demonic aura spread out from the platform. Soon, a series of rapidly rotating mageweths submerged the entire formation platform, and bursts of wind and thunder came from the inside of the formation platform shrouded by the mageweths. Wow! Seeing this scene, Jiyu Fei could not help but be shocked. This kind of transrealm teleportation formation was indeed extraordinary. The demonic aura emitted from the platform became stronger and stronger. When the formation of the platform rotated to the extreme, a demonic light directly rushed out from the platform. It instantly broke through the void and rushed into the depths of the chaos. "There's a reaction," the demonic rock lady said happily. The demonic rock woman happily said. It seemed that the array platform in the ancestral god realm hadn't been destroyed. As demon shine rushed deep into the chaos void, she sensed another fluctuation of demonic energy that came from the same source as her. "Ha ha," Jiyu Fei and Kang Q laughed excitedly. Buzz. The void shook. This time, a figure wrapped in demonic light rushed out and directly rushed into the chaos void, disappearing in an instant. What? Seeing this scene, everyone was extremely shocked. The Blood Devil was really transported to the ancestral god realm. To everyone, this was too illusory. Then, the demonic runes that covered the entire platform began to gradually stop revolving. The demonic diagram formed by the demonic runes began to decompose into primitive demonic runes. Those demonic patterns directly entered the array platform and disappeared within it. Soon, the entire platform completely stopped revolving. All the demonic runes had returned to the inside of the platform, but the Blood Devil on the platform had disappeared. Did it succeed? Jiyu Fei and Kang Q asked hurriedly. They could not sit still. "Let's see if he can come back. If he can come back, then it's a success," Magic Rock Lady said after thinking for a while. Jiyu Fei nodded. If the Blood Devil did not come back, then it was definitely a failure. Kang Q was even more nervous and anxious than Jiyu Fei, because he wanted to return to the ancestral god realm even in his dreams, because his roots were there. Of course, it was hard to say whether his roots were still there or not. It was also because of this that Kang Q was anxious to return to the ancestral god realm. No one knew better than him what serious consequences there would be if the ancestor of a superforce suddenly disappeared. The best result would be becoming a vassal of another superforce. The worst result would be being eradicated by another superforce. No matter which result it was not what Kang Q wanted to see. Time passed. Soon, 3 days passed. On the mountain top, no one left. Everyone was waiting quietly. Shua. Chapter 3255. The scattered practitioners of the mystical demon mountain gathered in the ancient city again. Jiyu Fei had already changed the name of the city to Mystical Demon City. At this time, the Mystical Demon City became lively again. Because of Jiyu Fei's return, many big and small forces that had surrendered to the Mystical Demon Mountain had once again attached themselves to the Mystical Demon Mountain. Taking advantage of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity when the 13 chaotic creatures defeated the Mystical Demon Mountain, the other superforces of the central region occupied many territories that originally belonged to the Mystical Demon Mountain. Among them, the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan were the most aggressive. After the 13 chaotic creatures made their move, the two clans also took action. Most of the territories of the Destruction Demon Palace that the Mystical Demon Mountain had taken over were occupied by the Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan. However, now that Jiyu Fei had returned, they had to spit out the fat meat that they had already eaten. This was Jiyu Fei's attitude. If they didn't spit it out, he would take it back himself. The Stone Demon Clan and the Willow Demon Clan did not want to provoke the fierce Jiyu Fei, so they could only retreat obediently. At this time, on a mountain 1,000 miles away from the mystical demon city, Jiyu Fei was busy with another matter. The Magic Rock Lady had activated the Stone Demon Clan's transboundary formation platform and sent the Blood Devil out. However, 3 days had passed and there was no news of the Blood Devil. This made all the people guarding the transboundary formation extremely anxious. What's going on? It's been 3 days and he still hasn't come back. Did he fail? Kang Q muttered to himself. No one was more anxious than him because the ancestral god realm was his hometown. In these endless years, he had dreamed of returning to the ancestral god realm. There was something he cared about there. In the evening, there was a sudden sound of something breaking through the sky in the east. Ji Fei looked in the direction of the sound and saw a golden light flash, then turned into a golden rainbow and flew toward the mountain. A powerful wave of divine power spread from the golden rainbow. With just a glance, Ji Fei knew who it was. She had returned. Swoosh. Very soon, a golden light descended from the sky and landed on the top of the mountain. When the golden light dissipated, a figure appeared before everyone's eyes. It was a tall, slender, and incomparably beautiful woman. "You're back." Kang Q glanced at the woman and said. This woman was the Chaos Golden Rock race's Golden Rock Goddess. She originally had some problems that needed to be resolved, but now that he had returned, it should be resolved. "Greetings, Ancestor." When the Golden Goddess saw Kang Q, she quickly rushed over and bowed to Kang Q. One must know that Kang Q was the ancestor of the primal Chaos Golden Rocks. He was the ancestor of all primal Chaos Golden Rocks. This bloodline originated from Kang Q. He was the first living being of this race. It's settled. As Kang Q spoke, his gaze landed on the platform in front of him once again. "Yes, thank you for your help, old ancestor," the Golden Goddess said. "Why are you the only one back? Where are the others?" Kang Q asked. He didn't have many clansmen left in the Chaos Demon realm. There were only 3 of them. Back then, his race was extremely powerful. The clansmen that followed him into the Chaos Demon realm, as well as the experts from the ancestral god realm who submitted to him, numbered more than 100,000. But now, all the experts from the ancestral god realm who had followed him into the Chaos Devil realm had died. Only the Golden Goddess, his uncle, and his grandfather had survived. This made Kang Q extremely depressed. Back then, he was so glorious that he could summon the wind and summon the rain in the ancestral god realm. But now, he was almost alone. "They still need to visit an old friend," the Golden Goddess said. "Got it. Inform them not to play for too long. Don't delay the important matters," Kang Q said. "Yes, old ancestor," the Golden Goddess replied respectfully. Then, she glanced at Ji Fei and the others, turned around, and soared into the sky. She turned into a golden light and disappeared in an instant. "Your 3 descendants really know how to play." Ji Fei smiled at Kang Q. "You still have the mood to joke at this time?" Kang Q looked at Ji Fei speechlessly. "Relax. Don't look so bitter. We haven't failed yet." Ji Fei patted Kang Q's shoulder. In fact, there was still no news of Blood Devil, which was a good thing for them. If Blood Devil died, then the life talisman he left in Ji Fei's hand would shatter. But until now, Blood Devil's life talisman had not shattered. In other words, at least Blood Devil was not dead. Kang Q did not say anything. Ji Fei smiled and walked to the side. At this time, Black Demon Mountain Lord and the others had already started a bonfire. They put the prey they hunted on top of the bonfire and roasted it. Bursts of meat fragrance wafted in the air. Soon, the beast meat was roasted to a shiny golden color. The fat dripped on the bonfire and sizzled. Ji Fei walked to the bonfire and sat down. Then, he stretched out his hand and pulled a beast leg from the grill. He ate it in big mouthfuls and his mouth was full of oil. Seeing this scene, Black Demon Mountain Lord and the others were dumbfounded. They never thought that the high and mighty Ji Fei would have such a side. At this time, Ji Fei was like an ordinary person enjoying delicious roasted meat. Of course, when one's cultivation reached Ji Fei's level, it didn't matter whether he ate or not. Now, Ji Fei was like a god walking down from the altar. Only Kang Q and the Magic Rock Lady could vaguely guess why Ji Fei wanted to do this. He wanted to completely relax, be free, be unrestrained, do whatever he wanted, and do whatever he wanted. "Eat. Why are you looking at me? This meat is roasted well. I didn't expect Black Demon Mountain Lord to be so good at roasting meat," Ji Fei said while eating. He didn't forget to take out a pot of wine from his body and took big mouthfuls of meat and wine. Hehe, thank you for exaggerating, Master. Black Demon Mountain Lord said with a wry smile. At this time, they also began to eat. Jiu Fei directly threw the wine pot in his hand to Black Demon Mountain Lord. Black Demon Mountain Lord caught the wine pot, then raised his head and took a big gulp. Then, he passed it to Phoenix Sparrow which beside him. Phoenix Sparrow which also took a big gulp, then passed it to Devil Rock Emperor. The wine jug spun around in everyone's hands before returning to Jiu Fei's hand. The wine jug was only so big, but the wine inside it seemed like it could never be finished. There was always wine inside the jug. For a moment, the mountain top was filled with the aroma of meat and wine. In the end, even Kang Q and the Magic Rock Lady joined in, eating and drinking with Jiu Fei and the others. Time disappeared. A bright moon hung high in the sky. At this time, on the Transcendent Array platform that had been silent all this time, a demonic rune suddenly lit up. Then, one after another, the demonic runes inside the array platform were rapidly awakening. This. Chapter 3256. The platform, which had been silent for 3 days, finally reacted. The demonic patterns inside the platform began to awaken, blooming with dazzling demonic light. Countless formation patterns rushed out from the platform and began to interweave with each other, forming an ancient and mysterious demonic diagram. It's working. When Jiu Fei saw this, he immediately stood up from the ground and stared at the transboundary formation platform. He could sense an extremely powerful aura spreading from the platform. It worked. Kang Q said excitedly. At this time, no one answered him. They were all stunned. Sounds of wind and thunder began to spread from the platform, startling everyone on the mountain top. It really worked. The demonic rock lady's eyes flickered. She stared at the constantly changing platform and muttered to herself. Even she was not sure if they really succeeded. At this time, the Lord of Black Demon Mountain and the others had already retreated far away. This level of battle was not something they could intervene in, so they could only retreat. Swoosh. At this time, a demonic light broke through the void and directly rushed out, then directly fell on the platform. Rumble, the transboundary array platform shook violently. But soon, the transboundary array platform stopped shaking and became still. The devil runes and devil light quickly disappeared into the array platform. A silhouette appeared on the platform. Everyone was taken aback when they saw it. Who is this? The Lord of Black Demon Mountain couldn't help but be startled when he saw this person. He felt a little familiar looking at this person. How could this be? It was really unbelievable. The person's clothes were ragged, his hair was unkempt, his nose was bruised and his face was swollen. The shoes on his feet had many holes, and the toes on his left foot were exposed. At first glance, no one could recognize who this person was. You are the Blood Devil. You are the Blood Devil. Master, it's great to see you. The person on the platform saw Jiu Fei and immediately jumped down from the platform. He rushed towards Jiu Fei and knelt in front of Jiu Fei. Master, I almost couldn't make it back. Blood Devil hugged Jiu Fei's leg and burst into tears. Scram. Jiu Fei's right foot shook and Blood Devil was immediately sent flying. Master, Blood Devil came to Jiu Fei again, but this time, he didn't dare to hug Jiu Fei's thigh. Seeing Blood Devil in such a sorry state, all the experts on the mountain wanted to laugh, but they didn't dare to do so. After a while, Blood Devil calmed down and stood up from the ground. At this time, everyone on the mountain wanted to know where Blood Devil had gone and whether that place was the legendary ancestor god realm. Blood Devil smelled the barbecued meat on the hilltop. He rushed over and grabbed the leftover barbecued meat from Jiu Fei's group. He started eating like a reincarnated ghost. Seeing this scene, everyone couldn't help but be shocked. It was hard to imagine what Blood Devil had encountered on the other side of the formation platform. Blood Devil ate for half an hour until his stomach swelled like a ball. Then, he stopped and burped in satisfaction. The hilltop was silent. Everyone looked at Blood Devil curiously. They wanted to know what Blood Devil had experienced in the past 3 days. Blood Devil, who had eaten his fill, rested for a while, then started to talk. After listening to him, everyone was shocked. It turned out that Blood Devil had gone to the ancestor god realm, but the god's continent had already collapsed into 9 big pieces. This was the 9 prefectures of the ancestor god realm. The ancestor god realm was divided into 9 great continents. This was something that no one had expected, especially Kang Q, who was extremely shocked. What had happened in the ancestor god realm? Even the vast and boundless ancestor god realm had collapsed into 9 continents. Blood Devil didn't appear in the 9 continents. Instead, he went to an ancient battlefield. There was an ancient formation platform floating in the void. Everyone was shocked. Blood Devil didn't go to the 9 continents of the ancestor god realm. Instead, he was trapped in an ancient battlefield. The ancient battlefield was extremely terrifying. There were unknown dead spirits wandering around. Unfortunately, these dead spirits sensed Blood Devil's existence. Therefore, Blood Devil was in trouble. Blood Devil was beaten up so badly by the undead spirits that he couldn't even recognize his own mother. If he hadn't escaped quickly, he would have died in the hands of the undead spirits in the ancient battlefield. 9 continents, ancient battlefield, everyone was shocked by Blood Devil's words. It was unbelievable that the ancestor god realm was so dangerous. Ji Fei's eyes lit up when he heard this. I'll go and take a look. Kang Q couldn't sit still and said to Ji Fei. All right. Ji Fei nodded. Blood Devil's cultivation was a little weak after all. He couldn't even deal with the dead spirits in the ancient battlefield. However, Kang Q was different. He was a super expert who possessed extreme power. With him on the trip, they would definitely be able to understand more. Ji Fei asked Magic Rock Lady to activate the Transrealm Formation platform. This time, Kang Q directly went to the Transrealm Formation platform. Without any suspense, Kang Q's figure disappeared from the platform and was sent out. This time, everyone stared at the platform anxiously. Time passed. This time, they waited for more than half a month. There was no response from the ancient formation platform. Could it be that Kang Q has never returned? Ji Fei muttered to himself. How dare he? Magic Rock Lady said angrily. The mountain is high and the Emperor is far away. Why wouldn't he dare? Ji Fei said disapprovingly. He looked up at the sky. The divine sun was shining high in the sky. It was almost noon. Swoosh. At this moment, the ancient formation platform that had been silent for a long time started to emit demonic patterns. He's finally back. Ji Fei and Magic Rock Lady were shocked. The other cultivators were even more shocked. They stared at the formation platform in front of them anxiously. At this moment, a demonic light broke through the void and landed on the formation platform. The demonic light dissipated and a figure appeared on the formation platform. Everyone focused and saw that it wasn't Kang Q standing on the formation platform. Instead, it was a middle-aged man with a monstrous aura of death. Dead spirit. Seeing this, the group of Devil Clan powerhouses was really shocked. At this moment, the dead spirit was looking around helplessly. Kill.